So no, the third kid's name is Aquaman.
No, fuck off. No, fuck right on off. There's no way.
There is a way. When there's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely not. There is no way the fucking hospital allowed her to do that and didn't just slap her and take the baby from her.
No, there's a way.
Malibu Barbie, Elvis,
Um,
and Aquaman.
yeah, I just saw someone on Twitter posted right when Pop Base announced that they had their child. Someone says someone's dying today, and everyone's like, "Bruh."
Yeah,
Fucking
like was
hell.
it transgentle properties or whatever?
Is that the name of the fourth kid?
Yeah, most likely.
All right, audio has been checked. We're good.
Hell
Everyone
yeah.
got their stuff.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I got my 2 things I bought this week.
All right. Welcome to the Blue Rubies podcast, episode number 306. I'm Adrian. That's David. That's Kells.
Yeah.
One day we'll get Aquaman on this episode. Shout outs and rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne. That's crazy.
Wait, that's it. Ozzy died and the child was born.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the oh my god.
Clearly, Ozzy Osbourne was just reincarnated into Aquaman.
Yeah.
And that's a sentence I bet you never thought you'd hear in your lifetime.
Crossover episode.
They just Black Sabbath just had their final show like 2 weeks ago
Like
too.
2 weeks.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, which is crazy. I was watching a bit of that, and then yeah, even behind the scenes, his daughter got proposed to, and it's funny because
Yep.
yeah, they were he was pulling out the ring and everything. He's getting ready to, like, he was doing the whole thing, and you knew what he was gonna say after just like all the way he was saying it. And then right before he's able to like finish his sentence, Ozzy just interrupts him. "You're not fucking marrying my daughter." Legend goat. What a man. Like, you think about that though, it's like dude held out for his last concert. Like, you know he did too. So
Also, let's be realistic. It's a miracle he fucking lasted this long. He had no business surviving as long as he has.
living
in
this
life.
long, being like as fucked up as he was, like that's definitely a miracle. Like, unfortunate, it's still young, right? 76 is not like that crazy.
No, it's not old by honestly. I mean, it's
For
old,
him-
but it's not like
For him,
ancient.
that's gonna be grateful to make it there though.
That's like anytime you see a wrestler fucking live beyond 40, you're like, holy fuck, what graced your life?
And then to do that concert too, I don't know if you guys seen the actual concert, but yeah, he was on the throne just rocking still, dude. So shout outs on there. But yeah. We talk about video games usually, a lot of other stuff too. We'll talk about some other stuff, obviously. On youtube.com/@bluerubies every Tuesday evening. With that said, how's the week been, David? What you been? It's not patch week, so what you been doing?
Yeah, it's not patch week. So I was gonna start binging through The Return, and I started it, but I saw something that ended up pulling my attention away. And this is what I've been putting every bit of free time I've had. Oh God, can't stop it. This is what I've been putting my attention to. Is there is a tabletop RPG game jam going on right now, where you have 1 month to create a single page tabletop RPG, and so I've been working on that. I actually have the system predominantly done. I just have an unfortunate problem that I'm trying to solve for right now, which is I have 2 game systems done actually, and trying to figure out how to fit it into 1 page. I'm not exact. I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but brevity is not my strong suit.
No way.
So I'm really fucking struggling to get the rules down to be just a single page, because I like both rule sets and I think they would work well for like here's the just quick play, I just want to play the game rule set, and here's the I like number crunching kind of rule set. And I like the idea of having an easy mode and a hard mode essentially, but I don't know how to properly fit everything all on 1 page. And so that's what I'm spending the rest of this week trying to figure out, and then playtesting next week.
Okay. So how far did you get into The Return?
I got like 2 episodes in.
Okay.
Yeah, so I am not far. I wanted to watch it, but I know that is something that needs my full attention. That is not something that I can just have on in the background and listen to.
You can do it weekly for now if you want. I immediately went on for look at reception of it, and people were kind of pissed at it because I understand why. Like if I watched it live and I figured if I'm thinking my expectation of the show, so spoilers out there. I guess not spoilers. I will talk spoilers, but I binged the entire fucking series in a week, which is that's a lot of fucking Twin Peaks in a week.
Yeah, because that's 18 episodes, and they're all an hour plus long.
18 episodes. I think every episode's like roughly about 47, about 55-ish minutes. And again, that's including season 1, season 2, Firewalk with Me, and Missing Pieces. Everything was knocked out and done. Which reminds me, I gotta get something in a little bit. But yeah, and I finished that, and I was like, do I watch a trailer for this? I'm like, do I watch it and get a feel for it? I was like, you know what? Because I'm always iffy on that. I'm like, I like to go as blind as possible. But I remember actually what I took years ago. We should probably do it again. I think it'd be kind of fun now again. Years ago, we did a little mini series of live streams every week, me and David, where I walked David through the Halo franchise. And I would do it, and I would get him prepped up for the upcoming Halo with trailers, which actually got him super excited to kind of get there. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I do watch it. And I watched a trailer. I didn't realize afterwards it was a fan trailer, but that fan trailer got me like super hyped because I'm like, oh, this is weird as shit. All right, cool. But looking at the reception of it, people were lukewarm on it. People like it now in hindsight, but they were lukewarm on it when it came back up, and I understand exactly why. And I can imagine I would have been in that same boat too. But David, let me tell you, it's so fucking good. It's so good, dude. It is incredible.
The only thing that immediately comes to mind is I imagine that when it premiered, it was not what anyone was expecting it to be after such a long hiatus.
People were, and I deep dive the fuck out of this, right? So people were kind of going into it like, are we gonna get the soap opera aspect of it? But it's like doesn't really fit in today's age. Are we gonna get more? Because by the end of it, it was getting weird, right? So it's like, are we gonna go dive down that road? Are we gonna balance it somehow? And I could say that it definitely goes in the weirder route, and they do cut a lot of the soap opera thing. There was a really cool video essay someone did on it that they made some impressions that my ass is like, damn, that was a solid impression. English teacher means fucking impressed, but they equated to this is David Lynch's like modern take of Twin Peaks if he made it today. And it's like heavily inspired by stuff like Sopranos and Breaking Bad and stuff now. He's like, hey, Twin Peaks was a David Lynch show in the era of the early 90s of where those shows were at. Twin Peaks: The Return is a David Lynch show in the era of cable television and like the era where it got really prominent, right? We're looking at like Game of Thrones was coming up here on that end, Breaking Bad was popping up everywhere. A lot of those kind of like heavy dramas. It was doing that.
Yeah, transition from like sitcom to drama, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just David Lynch. The Return is titled in parts, like part 1, part 2, go to part 18. And it really is like an 18-part movie. It feels like. And I was loving it. Those episodes those episodes fly by, dude. Like I was struggling during parts of season 2 sometimes where it was definitely like that chuggy part where I'm like, all right, there's some storylines I didn't get, and then diving into that and seeing how they forced the hand of David Lynch and Robert Frost to do stuff that they were like, we don't want to, but they were like, whatever. Season 3 just flew the fuck by, and dude, let me tell you, part 8 is one of the greatest episodes of television of all time.
I'm excited to get to that one because that's a high fucking bar.
It is. I was in shock at everything, and what I'm saying, and if you think this episode is anything that you might imagine, you're wrong. It is a David Lynch fueled nightmare. It feels like a normal episode for the first 5 minutes of it, and then everything's fucked. And then it goes back to the show, like at part 9, which David, now like it's funny because we're in reverse now, right? David for years has been the one telling me Twin Peaks towing around the lines, and now it's kind of reversed now. And I'm trying to tell David, and it's funny because you could tell now, right? Because David's like, he tries to be vague and coy with it, like, hey, this happens and everything's fucked. Now I'm telling you, like, everything's like this, and then it's just fucked. Everything's just fucked. If you guys relate to the last week's episode where I indulged in a certain time, I did that again. Unwillingly and unknowing what was gonna fucking happen in fucking part 8. Like I'm talking like I was by myself again. I'm just chilling. I'm having a good time, and I'm again. It's like halfway through the series. I think that was my thing. I was like, I'm like halfway. I'm like, you know what? Tonight I'm kind of chilling and binging a few episodes. So part 7, I started. Part 8, I am on the couch, fucking paralyzed. I am like lost in the sauce, and the girlfriend walks in. She looks at me, she looks at my face, she looks at the TV, she's like, are you watching Nosferatu? I'm like, this is Twin Peaks. She's like, oh. I'm like, this.
Have you ever watched Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared?
No.
Really? You haven't seen Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared?
What is that?
Well, it's like a web series, a British web series that they did. YouTube. It started off as YouTube.
Oh,
videos,
I've heard of it. I've heard of it. Okay.
It's really fucking good.
Yes,
it's
yes.
especially with your love of Arg.
Yeah, is it anything okay, so the whole thing with Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, is it kind of starts off like innocuous. Like, oh, it's a daytime kids television.
Yeah, it kind of
I do. I remember watching a couple like an episode or 2 of this. Yeah, and everything just kind of gets like weird and surreal.
Yes.
Yes. But crank that shit up to 20 on a level of 10. Like there is no world on this planet that David Lynch should have gotten the budget to do what the fuck he just did with part 8, and he did it, and holy fuck. It is. I want to spoil the fuck out of it because it is obscene. I don't. Kels doesn't give a shit. He's good, I think, right? Or
I mean, I kind of want to watch it now after
you know what? I would be
but...
so real. You can watch part 8 on its own, and I mean, I watched part 8 knowing everything's going on. I don't know what the fuck is going on. And I say that now, like I've watched like analysis, and I've thought about it going through it. And I'm like, all right, it makes sense, but there's so many pieces of the puzzle to connect, and that's kind of what David Lynch does. He just like, I'm gonna throw a bunch of stuff at the wall, catch some of it. If you don't, all right, whatever. But I would love to spoil the shit out of this. But I'm not gonna. But it is gorgeous. It is the only episode that I've gone through and actually rewatched again. I'm actually probably rewatch it again tonight. Like it's something that I would love to dissect. Because it really is just like, imagine David Lynch having a nightmare, and that's exactly what it is. He put it like vividly on screen.
Is it something you're able to use for your film students? Probably,
but it's something so abstract that I'm gonna like net maybe 2 or 3 out of 30 is what I'm saying. You know, it's like this was the episode that it for a lot of Twin Peaks fans, even Twin Peaks fans, I looked at the like Reddit discussion board of it, and even Twin Peaks fans were like, that was kind of shit. Like they didn't like that. But David Lynch fan, I think I screenshot a perfect one to show the girlfriend after I had gone through it. Let me see if I could find it. Yeah. This one comment said, I love David Lynch works, but I'm pretty sure the people who call episode 8 the greatest episode of television are people who are a bit Lynch obsessed. I'm pretty Lynch obsessed, and it's not even my favorite television episode he's created. I
wish people like that would say what they thought was the best.
Right. Yeah. It'd be a good barometer.
Like if you're going to be contrarian about it, like, well, all right.
Well, no. I could see that, though. I could see why. This is like a David Lynch episode if you were like on that level. And it's so funny because, again, right, it's like everyone's told me for years, this is your dude. And I'm like, this is your show. And he's right. Everyone's right. And it's so funny, like, watching that. And you know what it reminds me of? Kel's. You know what? It is so Alan Wake 2 or anything like post anything Control Alan Wake forward. It's so that coded. Like, you know, when Control or in an Alan Wake 2 or even Control when you go into that AWE DLC, you know, when things get fucking weird and just like abstract and like you know, how about like you know, when you start
dancing.
Yeah, or like you go into the void and everything gets like whooshy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's that. And it's so funny because I'm going back and I'm like, oh, it's so funny how related the two are. And to Alan Wake 2 and Remedy and Sam Lake's credit, Alan Wake kind of got ahead of the boat of Twin Peaks. So Twin Peaks actually followed Alan Wake, right? Because Alan Wake 2 was kind of bubbling and stuff like this before The Return happened.
Right.
Sam Lake beat David Lynch.
It's a weird.
On
it's
that.
one of those weird situations where like you influence, and then you come back around and influence the influencer. Right?
Yeah. And I'm not saying that David Lynch obviously didn't even know who the fuck Alan Wake 2 was, right? But you could tell that says a testament to how much Sam Lake was influenced and followed the David Lynch mindset, because there is so much that The Return has, and I'm bummed, but I mean you'll get, it'll be kind of cool to see the opposite direction actually, but like if you play Alan Wake 2, David, ever, which you will eventually someday, but like
It'll happen.
you're gonna see a lot of fucking similarities. Alan Wake truly is Twin Peaks the video game, and 2 being more Twin Peaks than Stephen King on every level of being. You're gonna see a lot of that, and it's really cool that way. But yeah, no, it is a fucking nightmare of an episode, but in a really gorgeous fucking way. I think I was looking at the other box set because I want to grab the other box set. It's on sale for like $35, I think, right now. And shoutouts. The box set has 3 seasons, the movie, and like 20 hours of stuff on there, with some of them being 4Ks, for $35, I think, right now, which is incredible. But I think out of the whole Showtime series, I think only part 8 is the one that's in 4K right now, which makes perfect sense to me because that episode is fucking nuts.
They just have one episode in 4K.
I think that one specifically, and it makes sense why. I think there's been talks about them doing the whole thing in 4K, because a 4K box set of 18 hours kind of makes sense to me, right? Was like is being a lot more pricey than it needs to be. But yeah, I digress. Maybe when eventually we can talk about that, but I will say, watching the whole thing, it does bum me out a little bit because I'm like there was talks of a season 4 amongst David Lynch and Robert Frost, but obviously I think Robert Frost came out and said it's never happening. Like without David Lynch, season 4 is never happening.
Which is the only fair answer,
yeah.
Honestly.
Buddy, no.
Try to do it without him once.
No.
Oh, sweet baby.
And also like David Lynch was straight up just not able to leave his home since last year. He's been rough off. But yeah, no, it makes sense, and I wouldn't want it to be that way. But it is a definitive ending without it being a definitive ending, which you'd imagine there's no definitive ending. I will say though, there are some books in the series. One of them being, I think the last one called Twin Peaks: The Final Dossier, written by Robert Frost, which I'm probably going to get for the collection. I'm 50-50 on reading it because I've heard that it just tells you everything. It's the tell-all.
It's the main reason
secrets.
I haven't actually read it, is because I kind of like the mystique, and I do kind of like the idea of being able to theorize and not having direct answers. But there is that part of my brain that goes, no, but I do kind of want to actually now know what the actual intent is.
Right. So it gives you like definitive endings in certain things on things that, because Robert Frost.
But how definitive is Lynch involved with it though? I feel like there's room for interpretation unless it's both of them.
They both worked. They both wrote every episode together in the last part.
Right, but so
I think he's talking about the dossier.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
I'm fairly sure.
I'm sure there's things that I'm sure that they were probably split on many decisions.
Right, and that's what people are kind of going with. They say, you know what, I like reading his interpretation, but I know David Lynch probably wanted to be a little more mystique than that. I'm probably gonna end up reading it just for the sake of it, just because I do want to watch more videos of it, and some of them are like the spoilers for that too. I'm like, all right, well, I can't.
Referencing it.
Yeah. But yeah, like it tells you a certain thing about like here's actually what happened to certain characters, and I do know that. Even though it's not definitive, it definitely lines up pretty explicitly as to being like, oh, okay, that makes perfect sense now that you think about it. There's one character that had a really bizarre character arc in The Return, and that was enough for me to like want to like think about for a while. But then having a video spoil what happened, actually, it makes complete and perfect sense actually what happened to them.
I mean, right off the bat, the one that kind of stood out to me was Dr. Jacoby. I'm wondering what the fuck they're gonna do with him.
Do you want me to set expectations for you in a certain way?
No, like I avoided this long to go
No,
into
no,
it
it's nothing
blind. I
bad,
mean,
but it's just Twin Peaks. And I shouldn't even explain it to David, right? But at least for people out there, Twin Peaks is not a show about definitive endings,
no.
right? Which is why the dossier is a little funky like that. But I mean, no, like Jacoby definitely has like a thing going on, as everyone in there that does.
Well, that's what I mean, though. Is I'm just surprised they bothered to bring him back at all, because I feel like he was more or less definitively wrapped up in the original series.
Do you care about if I spoil who came back, or are you also like on that boat of like, no, don't tell me anything of who comes back?
I feel like most people that were alive came back,
right?
Because even Log Lady was in the first episode, even though she passed shortly after.
Yeah, they actually had a documentary about her this year. I learned, so I kind of want to watch that.
No shit.
Yeah. They did bring back pretty much most of everyone that was alive. The ones that did not come back were either like there was no room for them in the story whatsoever. Like, oh yeah, they actually had an ending by season 2, or they were just button heads with Lynch. The primary one that comes to mind of that is I forget his name, but the one that played the arm. Because
yes.
Yeah, because
the hobo guy.
Yeah, he's had some really weird declines in mental health, and he made some egregious allegations towards David Lynch out of nowhere, and everyone's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, brother?" And he asked for a lot of money, claiming to be the reason why the show was popular, and it's not the case whatsoever.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Not to
be
Paul
rude,
Atreides is the headlining guy. You kidding me, bro?
I don't want to make an excuse, because that's still what he said is pretty heinous, but also the disease they have also causes the brain to swell against the skull, and apparently one of the effects of that does cause hyperaggression towards things. So it's like, I'm gonna base some of that on that, but it's still not okay for that to happen.
Explains the behavior, but doesn't excuse the behavior.
Right, because it was pretty egregious. He called like Lynch a pedophile, rapist, like everything that you could have under the bus claimed him to be.
Fucking hell. All right.
Claimed him to be like raping his daughter, and his daughter's like, no, like, and to everyone else's credit, they just like, we just hope he gets better. And I think they straight up even offered them a role back in the return, but then they just asked for so much money. And spoilers, this part I'll spoil. I mean, because you know about it in the first like 2 episodes, which David, you already seen. But they don't bring him back, and they replace him with a tree with chewing gum on the top of it, which is like, all right. Yeah, but anyway, loved it, every second of it. A final story I'll share with this before I move on. So I'd watched it up until the last episode. So I saved the very last episode for the morning of the next day. I'm like, all right, I can binge it now, but I'm a little tired. Kind of want to be a little more cognitive ready for this. So went to bed, woke up, and in the neighborhood there was someone, and I'm not trying to make light of it, I promise you, but there was someone on drugs that was very clearly on drugs, just like yelling, making this noise, like, just, it woke me up. I'm like, all right, I'm up, whatever, gonna go watch this episode. So I went up and watched the episode, and like the first 15 minutes they're just yelling, and I get a text from the girlfriend who was still in bed. She's like, hey, can you come here real quick? I'm like, yeah. Pause the episode, come back there, and then she's like, I think one of the neighbors is yelling. I'm like, yeah. She's like, I thought it was you watching Twin Peaks, and I wasn't gonna say anything, but I'm pretty sure it's outside. I'm like, yeah, no, it was. And I was like, I was still sleepy, and I thought for a second, I was like, is that part of the episode? Oh wait, no, it woke me up.
Oh, he's really inspired by Sopranos.
But yeah. And the final episode is a very interesting way they went about it too. It was definitely, you're not allowed to jump ahead of David Lynch when he's trying to do things, because you will not follow his path. If you think you are wrong. So yeah,
I lost budget. They had to cut short on time, so they just had to like hand draw. Like,
you know what? And all of us would be like, "Fuck yeah!" But yeah, so I watched that, and then I will preface and bring it back around with 2 more things really quick. But anyway, David, you're gonna love it. You're gonna fucking love it. It's incredible. I ended up watching Blue Velvet.
Ooh, what did you think of that?
Was not that big of a fan.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because I'm so on the fucked up part of David Lynch's side that I just have not been on the more melodramatic side of it. I'm gonna rewatch it eventually once I get done with all this other stuff. But
Oh
didn't
no.
oh
Real quick. So my wife is currently right now trying to fix the oven. And then I just get a message from her saying, "You love me. You love me so, so much."
She
And
broke
now I'm
him.
concerned of what she's done to the oven.
I mean, are you concerned? I am. I feel like it's a pretty logical jump as to what happened. Anyway, um,
We're
yeah,
an
no,
air fryer family now.
yeah.
I mean, I think so.
So yeah, no, it was. I wasn't quite ready for the. I enjoyed it, but I was not uh ready for some melodramatic stuff. So I gave it like a 3.5 star. Still liked it, but I'll come back to it probably after my run end of it because I did like it. But I was like, yeah, I don't know if this is what I was expecting in a not necessarily positive way, but like it's still like I still enjoyed the ride though.
I feel like maybe more Mulholland Drive would be a little bit
That
closer to that kind of style.
Yep. Since you just mentioned it, I did grab that on 4K. It popped up on Amazon, so I was gonna watch this first, but Blue Velvet was already there last night, so I watched that. But yeah,
There.
Blue Velvet might be one that I watch after I'm done with the discography and just jump back to it. Plus, it might have also been the fact that fucking I probably spent 60 hours with Cooper. I probably couldn't dissociate him from my brain for a second, so
Hmm.
need a cause I was like, that's not Jeffrey, that's Cooper. The fuck. But yeah, and
The
also
man has a coffee and pie addiction.
I you know what's so funny is I went to a cafe Sunday with some friends and there was no cherry pie and I was upset about it. And I was like, today I was like, you know what? I really want to. I just for the meme, but also kind of like I do crave it. I was like, I kind of want to go. Let's go to a diner that we go to. I was like, let's go. I want cherry pie and coffee. Went there. I was like, all right, cool. It's on the board. They had cherry pie. I'm like, cool. I want a cherry pie and coffee. And they came back and said, we don't have any cherry pie. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll take an apple pie. Came back, said, we don't actually don't have apple pie either. I'm like, I just don't want pie
Jesus
then.
Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will get my cherry pie and coffee. I didn't know that I did. I figured I shouldn't say I wouldn't have expected, but the town they filmed the Twin Peaks in is really right outside of Seattle, and the cafe there has a cool the Double R has a cool little memorial for David Lynch and stuff. So the girlfriend's always wanted to go to Seattle, so we might go. And she was like, "Well, there's an excuse for you to take me to Seattle because I'll go with you if you want to go do your Twin Peaks adventure." I'm like, "Yeah, probably."
Hell yeah.
Yeah, very excited for you to jump through that, David. It's gonna be a good time. And then Kels, I watched Eddington. Did you watch Eddington?
I haven't yet. No,
Okay.
I forgot all about it before, and the weekend was already over.
Happens. Did watch Eddington.
How was it?
I liked it. I did read people's impressions were kind of were not necessarily bad. People's audience experiences were bad.
So I didn't understand like what the movie was going to be at first, I guess. But then I read like not even a synopsis, like the first few lines of like I guess a synopsis, like a plot. But it was like the movie's I think they called it a neo-Western black comedy satire.
Yeah.
And whenever I read the black comedy satire, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I kind of like readjusted what I was.
Remove horror
expecting.
from your brain. It's
for sure. Well, I was thinking just Western. It was gonna be like some kind of like
showdown
at high noon, yeah, type thing. But once I understood it was black comedy, it's like all right.
Yeah. People's audience experiences were bad because the film makes fun of both sides during COVID. But
Gotcha.
you know, a certain side, whenever they heard that movie making fun of another certain side, they're like, yeah, fucking idiots, you know, like, because if you don't know, it's Joaquin Phoenix's characters is very much against masks, and a certain side was very much like, yeah, fucking idiots, I can't breathe either. Like, one joke.
See, I didn't even know it was about like masking, not masking, or if that was even like a part of the plot. That's interesting.
It is. You know how Ari Aster has, again, and it's funny we talk about David Lynch, right? But do you know how Ari Aster's films are like fever dreams?
Yeah.
Imagine you had a fever dream just thinking back to how we lived during COVID, and that's exactly what it is.
It's kind of interesting too because I feel like his earlier movies weren't quite like that. They're more of like a window into like a moment in time.
Right.
Well, I guess that's kind of like what these are, but Beau was Afraid, I guess, wouldn't be. But
I was afraid to start breaking that for sure.
Right, and I feel like these last two are the ones that are kind of like you said, like almost fever dreamish.
Midsummer was definitely like a foot in the water towards that area, right? Like Midsummer felt like a natural like where he would go after her as Harry. Midsummer kind of teased where his brain was starting to go, and then it makes sense that it was so long until Beau was Afraid. But it's not as absurd, nearly as absurd as Beau is Afraid, but it definitely follows that fever dream of. If you think back to how ridiculous COVID was, it's that. I won't spoil. There's one tiny background joke that I thought was funny. Was there's some stickers on a character's car afterwards, and again, you remember certain things, but they said something like you're being. It's not exactly this, but it has like something like you're being oppressed, something like that, with the "you're" spelled wrong. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I think just hearing from last week how much you've enjoyed RES stuff, you're gonna really like this.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the next time I was gonna say, but yeah, no, I think you'll like it.
Sweet.
Audience reactions aside, if you happen to have them, but we'll see. Did I do anything else? Nope. Kels, did you do anything this week? We jumped past you.
No, honestly, it's been a bunch of prep because spoiler alert, headed to Vegas this weekend.
Hell yeah.
I'll be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's the Galactic Championship for Star Wars Unlimited. So it's our big natties. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Didn't get my day 2 buy or day 1 buy, so we're gonna be
Evo weekend too, no?
I think that's the first week of
August.
Week, yeah, next week. Yeah, so luckily Vegas shouldn't be that packed, but it's supposed to be hot as shit. So pray for me.
Shout out to Vegas.
Shout out! My first time going, so it'll be fun.
Disgusting city.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that, but yeah, I had driven through there last year, and that was when it had hit its record of 120 degrees.
Sheesh.
So, good times.
But yeah, other than that, just been prepping for that, still doing that. So
hell yeah. Yeah, I start working about a week and a half, which is
sheesh.
Yeah. Which makes me happy that Twin Peaks turned it into a summer binge because. All right. Someone's get ready to fight. It took me a week to get through that, and I don't know if I was okay with spending a week of my like 3 week of a break during 3 weeks. You know what I mean? So I'll spend 1 week out of 8 weeks, but 1 week out of 3 weeks is a lot. So week and a half time there. David, what'd you get this week? And while you do that, I'm actually gonna grab what I got.
Well, I gotta wait till you come back because one of them involves a thing that I mentioned. I was like, I can't wait to see your reaction.
Give me like 30 seconds.
All right. So I'll talk about the first thing I got while Adrian's gone, I guess, which is a Japanese copy of Aquanauts Holiday on a PS3.
Okay.
Because my dumbass forgot it was only the Korean and Chinese releases that had English.
Idiot, dude. How the fuck didn't you know that?
I was like, oh, fucking steal. It's only, I got it for $10. Usually goes for like 20, $30. I was like, it's steal at 10. Why not? And I was like, I've heard nothing about how this game has English as an option. And then I was like, wait a second. I don't think it does. And then I looked up Google. I'm like, oh, wait, there's a reason why a version of this game goes for 300 plus. It's because that one comes in English.
All right.
So the first thing I got, just high level, I got a Japanese copy of Aquanauts Holiday because I'm a dum-dum. And apparently I got it thinking it had English on it, but it's only the Chinese and Korean releases that have English on it.
Amateur mistake.
Yes, so I was a dum-dum. But I got a new toy. And I got it because I need to continue to develop certain skill sets that I have. And so I wanted your reaction for this because this is what we're actually streaming on today.
Okay.
Is my brand new M4 Mac Mini.
How you liking it?
I hate it. I fucking hate it. Unironically. So here, real talk. Mac is just Linux with more fucking steps. And I said this 10 some odd years ago, maybe even more, and I still say it now. And there's some things I like. Don't get me wrong. Like, honestly, and I said this before, the M4 Mac Mini base model is the best fucking deal in PCs, just full stop. For $500, the specs that the Mac Mini comes in, you cannot fucking beat
that's why
it.
I got 3 for my students. I'm like, yeah, that covers their editing process for sure.
And you know what? I will say I haven't done like in super intensive work on it, but I'll also say with the Mac hardware, it's fucking kept up with it. One of the first things I did was get first I installed Brew, and then with Brew I installed BTOP. And then I've just watched the fucking processor RAM go, is that it? That all you got for me? And it's like, all right, fair, fuck it. You're an optimized little fucking thing. I have yet to stress out this Mac Mini. I can't wait to do things that'll actually stress it out. But from what I've used it so far, it's a fast, responsive little machine. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Finder's a fucking great file manager. I actually really like Finder. It's no KDE, but I like it. Installation, very dead simple process. I really like that uninstalling shit's a dead simple process. That's where my compliments fucking end for Mac, though. I hate that all of the keyboard shortcuts for anything that has a keyboard shortcut is dumb. I hate that most things require 2 to the fucking 5 goddamn keyboard inputs. It's like summoning a goddamn fucking Satan in order to actually get a screenshot taken. So I've found all the different key binding settings and I've fixed them all to be fucking normal. But it's still one of those things that not everything can have a key binding. Like there is no key binding natively. You have to go ahead and create a manual key binding feature to call on a specific app. Like it's a whole separate thing you have to create in order to have Launchpad fucking come up as a keyboard combination, which is fucking wild to me. Windows, as much as I shit on Windows, I will shit on Windows every goddamn day. Start button. Fucking start button, there you go. There's all your fucking programs. Linux, start button. There's all your fucking programs. Mac, we don't have a default key for that. Why would you just want a default list of all your fucking programs? Who needs that? Okay, fuck off, I guess. Also, the audacity. The fucking audacity. I was going ahead and I was applying
it's a good program.
Jobs. I was applying. Audacity is a good program, but I was applying to some jobs, as I've talked about before. You know, I'm currently job hunting. I want a job that pays real money, and you know, I love my boss, I love my job, but I need to make real money again. So I'm applying shit, and so I downloaded my resume and my cover letter template from my server. I was gonna go tweak and edit some things, and the Mac's like, bro, we don't trust this fucking file. Get rid of it. What the fuck do you mean get rid of this file? And there's only 2 goddamn options on my resume and my cover letter. It's, hey, we don't trust this file, close this message, or move to trash. Why the fuck can I not go ahead and open my goddamn file?
Really? Because I feel like there was an option. I thought I feel
no.
I've seen that.
When it pops up the error, here I'll fucking do it right now and send it in a screenshot in chat because I haven't moved anything. Because the audacity for a fucking operating system to tell me what I can and can't do with it, which is part of my fucking issue with this. All right. So I go ahead and I do this. All right. What's the fucking wizard combination I created here? All right. Fucking Option Command P. There we go. That's the wizard combination, so I can take a fucking screenshot. Because fuck
Wait,
me,
you don't
I
like
guess.
Shift Command 4?
Absolutely fucking not. What absolute troglodyte thought that
Yeah,
was a
after
good
you
fucking
mentioned that,
thing?
I finally because I do screenshots a lot at work and just for like sending emails and shit. And then like I do it quite a bit at home just for sending memes. And now that you mentioned it, I'm sitting here like looking at my keyboard. I'm like, yeah, Shift Windows S. That's like all really close, easy. It's not super easy, but it's easier than the Shift Command 4 because you're literally reaching like the bottom to the highest point of your
Yeah,
keyboard.
dumb as fucking shit. I'm like, fucking, why does the print screen key not work? It's right there. So fucking, I tweet that saying, so yeah, I just sent the screenshot in the Discord chat. And yeah, your options are done or move to trash. So it doesn't let you do it.
Hold on. Yeah, keep going. Keep going. You're good.
So here's the other weird thing. So I found a workaround. And that workaround is that I use OnlyOffice because that is the only acceptable FOSS fucking file editor for anything. And Mac's like, no, bro, you want to use Pages. And I'm like, absolutely not. I do not want to fucking use Pages. And so I try to configure it to open up everything in OnlyOffice by default. And it doesn't want to do it. It will still try to default to trying to open up with fucking Pages. Even though I've right-clicked, I've hit the properties, and I've hit open, always use this application to open. It always tries to open first through Pages.
I might need to eventually, because I've been using Mac enough for a while now, so I feel like I've been in your boat, but I figured out ways around it that eventually worked out to it. So I need to figure out if it also has not been an issue for me for a couple years now though. So I need to go look and see what I did. But yeah, no, I also don't use anything aside from Google Docs and stuff like that because of work having so much stuff integrated with Drive.
Fair but disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't use programs on computers anymore. I just use it on dock because it saves on cloud. It's easy to save if I gotta share with other people too because I gotta share a lot of documents just for legal purposes. So I don't use any native programs on anything. So
heinous.
I don't know. Google Drive is so magnificent in how it works.
I would absolutely never trust anything in fucking. The only thing I use Google Docs for is because that's where we happen to put some things, and that is the only time I touch my Gmail. Is because I have a few things that for some reason people are insistent on using Google tools for.
So
and that's it.
here's the deal with that though too is for any reason should you get is it why am I thinking of the word subpoenaed? I forget. Like should
audited or
yeah. So if anyone needs like stuff, if like all right, you were talking to a parent about this, can we have documentation about that or whatever?
Yeah.
You can give up your account. So for example, when I call parents or text parents or even students, I do it through a Google thing, which is not secure, but that's kind of the point. Because should they need that, like if they were to say, we need documentation on you and someone's communication. If it was texting through my phone through SMS, they would take my phone.
Yeah.
Otherwise, now I can give them the Google account, and it doesn't really affect me. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why.
That's entirely again for work purposes. Makes perfect sense. I entirely get that.
Essentially, in a way, right? It's like it's something that I use separate because also like, don't talk to me on my personal shit. Like, that is for people I would like to communicate with outside of this work hours. Not for you. So do not take that.
Right.
Yeah, no, entirely for work purposes makes perfect sense. No different than being locked into like a Microsoft environment or a purely Mac environment. All makes perfect sense. I get that. For personal purposes, absolutely not. You would never catch my ass using it unless I absolutely had to. I mean, fuck, I bullied y'all to start using Signal instead of fucking text messaging like weirdos or Facebook like weirdos.
Yeah, it just makes me feel weird now because every time I watch those pedo hunting videos, they ask them like, "Do you have Telegram or Signal?" I'm like,
"Oh God."
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, bad people use good tools. That is
fair.
The reality of life. But yeah, so I've been using this Mac Mini since last Wednesday. It's like, I play it up a little bit for the lulls,
For the
but
chuckles, the guffaws.
for the guffaws. But I mean, it's better than Windows.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to say you
but
probably appreciate it more than that.
I do appreciate it more than that. I do like that it encrypts the hard drive out of the gate. I do like that even though I have to fucking fight with it, it actually does try to, out of the box, protect you from a lot of shit. Safari's trash, though.
Oh yeah.
All the native apps, honestly, are fucking trash. The only thing that's not trash so far from what I've tinkered with is GarageBand. You know what? I get the hype. I get why a lot of people use it. For 90% of what most people would be using GarageBand for, fucking does the job. No need to grab Audacity when GarageBand's right there. I get it. All right, fair enough. And again, in terms of the performance, I have a billion fucking things open right now. I have a lot of tasks kind of running in the background. I'm only actively using 8 gigs of my RAM. My CPU cores, my performance cores are at like about 30%. All my efficiency cores are at like 5%.
So here's the thing, and
Optimization is boom.
right, and obviously the biggest egregious thing Apple doesn't really do is upgrade, right? Like that's the biggest
The
thing.
only thing you can asterisk upgrade is the storage.
Right.
Nothing else you can upgrade, which that is where I get into issues with it,
Right, which is the
because
biggest thing.
yeah,
My iMac way back when allowed you to upgrade some RAM, which was cool. But yeah, it's the biggest thing. But at least the caveat is that that Mac Mini will last you a long time, just doing its thing.
yeah.
So
And unless you do something heinous to it, like I have a 2013 Mac Mini that's kind of laying over there that I've used for like a little fucking project thing for a while now.
Yep.
It's had a lot of different Linux distros on it. It still fucking holds up well. So all it needed was a new fucking hard drive slapped in there, and it fucking runs Debian just fine. I run a lot of different little projects on it just fine. And
Yeah, I think I have
honestly,
like a 2011 or a 2012 Mac Mini. Same thing. It's a little truck.
yeah,
and that's what
will
you know. What
never,
that's exactly what it reminds me of. It's like that old pickup truck, right? That you just kind of keep around. You're like, yeah,
yeah.
if I need it, it does the job. It's still good.
Like I still have my framework laptop. That's still my go-to for when I want to do like serious work. But I'm trying to force myself to daily drive this right now, so that's why I have it set up like that. I've been doing all my work from it, and I'm trying to use the Mac environment as much as possible. And it's really hard not to just use Linux solutions.
Yeah.
Because fucking, especially now that I have Brew installed, like so many Linux tools are just ready for me to use. But I'm trying to use as much Mac native stuff as possible, because the whole point is honestly a lot of companies I've been applying to are like, no, we're looking for people with more Mac experience. I'm like, my last time I seriously used Mac was like fucking 12 years ago.
Yeah, they're kind of bouncing back.
Yeah,
but the cool thing is, like, even people, like, I would look on the Mac subreddit, and people are like, hey, should I upgrade this? And people are like, I'm still rocking an M1 and still kicking perfectly fine, honestly. So like, you're good, and that's why I didn't feel so bad about spending so much I did on my MacBook Pro. Like the M4 Pro, like that thing's gonna last me the next.
My wife gets very mad at her M1 Mac laptop, but that's because she doesn't use the computer quite to the same extent that I do, but she does often max out her hardware.
I mean,
so she could probably do with an
if you're,
upgrade, but
if you could upgrade and you need to like that, that's fine. But like, if you're just kind of just using it just like for the usual stuff, then yeah, you're trucking for a while. That like, but yeah, if you got like a MacBook now with the M4 stuff, you're fucking good, solid.
Oh yeah, that'd be solid for the next like 7 years, in all honesty.
Yeah,
Unless you're, well, depending what you're doing. I mean, if you're serious into editing and doing like some hardcore editing work, I could see my M4 Mac struggling a little bit. We get it because I got the literal entry model. So it's only got the fucking 10 core processor. It's only got the 10.
When I was
GPU,
talking to the guy at the Apple store, and you know how they're gonna try to upsell you on stuff. I had that guy trying to upsell me on the Vision, which is never gonna happen. But I was even asking him. I was like, kind of like talking about like, what do you think I should get if I'm doing like, at best I'm editing like 4K video. He's like, honestly, like the Pro is perfectly fine for you. Like the Ultra, that's if the Ultra is like if you need to start rendering 3D objects in a certain way, and then even then, EM3 Max is the top of the line actually. So it goes M3 Max, or it goes M4, M4 Pro, M4 Ultra, then M3 Max. Whenever you get to the max level of the chip, that's when it's like absolutely like top of the line. That still beats the next chip coming up until that gets maxed out.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he was like, yeah, you're fine, you're rocking it fine. And that's what I've seen. I think I've only seen my laptop struggle at one point, and that was because it was unoptimized editing by a student, right? Which is like kind of everything's kind of messy, and they were doing a bunch of stuff, which is fair. But also it was also running a browser in the background along with other stuff too. So it was juggling a lot, and it barely chugged, like not even. But yeah, so good pickup still. Like I'm excited to bring those Mac Minis into the classroom this year and see how the kids run with that, because I was letting all the kids kind of run with my MacBook for a little while just to get editing process done. But I'm like, okay, cool. If all the kids can edit on their own on a Mac, I think we're solid.
Yeah, I'm curious to like really do some deep dive editing, tinkering with DaVinci, because that's still my preferred fucking editing suite.
I mean, I grew up an Adobe person, but after going back and forth with Adobe a couple years ago, I just decided to make the full jump to DaVinci. Enjoying my time there. DaVinci is super solid.
It's super fucking streamlined. I really like it. It's a very intuitive system. I like it a lot.
And free. Shout out to them.
Free. If you want some extra bells and whistles, you can pay for a lifetime license, $300. But you know, I've
$300 for a lifetime license is a steal versus Adobe trying to fucking rip you off with the goddamn
It's so
subscription.
interesting, like how like many good options there are to Adobe now.
Yeah.
I mean, you have DaVinci for like the video.
Not
editing,
Adobe.
You have
Adobe is Premiere and Photoshop and stuff, and they've been doing subscription based stuff only now.
Oh yeah, no, they've been doing subscription stuff for a while with the CC with the cloud, Creative Cloud.
Yeah.
But I just think it's interesting, like how like good of offshoots that we have now for it.
Right.
DaVinci, we have like was it Affinity?
Yep.
Those are like photoshopping options.
I was happy. So I mentioned, I think in passing a little bit, was for whatever reason I decided to create a whole new Apple ID with my Mac stuff versus my phone. I don't know why I did that, and they were always separate, and it kind of cut me off on some features using with my phone. So I just said fuck it and just kind of abandoned whatever I had on there, and brought it over to my original account. But I found as long as the file's on your computer, it's fine. Like it doesn't really deal with licenses in that sort of way. And then for Affinity, it saw that I still had an email tied to it, so they're giving me like I think it's $100 fee to upgrade to the Affinity Designer and whatever it was. I have two Affinity programs to upgrade to
It's
the
their Photoshop and Illustrator.
Yeah,
essentially
to upgrade to the next iteration suite. It's like $100, and I get a lifetime license for that.
Yeah,
am I cool?
Yeah, they do the lifetime license shit, and that's so cool.
Lifetime license where it's at. I fucking hate subscription based stuff for that.
Wow, that it's a dying breed. It's fucking sad to see.
Yeah, unfortunately. Cool. What else did you get, David?
Studio, another good one.
That's all I got, and that's why I'm poor now, is because I bought that. My wife hasn't replied back to what happened, so I'm gonna quickly go check on her and make sure she hasn't actually blown up the oven or herself.
Mine is quick and easy. Didn't get anything because, like I said, I'll be in Vegas getting stuff there.
I was about to say,
I should have some cool stuff for next week.
Gotta save some money for that.
Exactly.
Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm starting to get work text now, and I'm like, I'm not ready.
You got your Gmail, man.
Right. No, this is just like the coworker stuff, but yeah. Let's see. I mean, I feel like all three of these are David ass picks, but whatever. I'll wait for a second. How long are you in Vegas for?
I am there, so we're gonna be there Thursday through Sunday, coming back Monday.
Okay. You do anything besides the tournament?
Those are gonna be during the day. Then probably evening. We're gonna be going doing shit. Thursday, whenever we get there, we're gonna go watch Fantastic Four in Dolby at one of the theaters there. So that'll be sick.
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
that'll be good. Dude, I'm so stoked. Like all the reviews and stuff coming out, people hyping it up and everything. It has me super excited.
Right.
And they officially confirmed the dude for Thunderbolts is doing X-Men now. So
Yep.
I'm very
He
excited.
had that whole talk, which was interesting. I think we could bring that up kind of actually during news. Let me see. Actually, I think New Rockstars did it. I'll just mute that and kind of go through that. Let's see, New Rockstars. But yeah, it's good. Superman did pretty well. It's good to see that. And then
yeah, it's kind of weird because at first I thought they were going to like just prey on each other, like Superman, Fantastic Four. But really, Superman kind of crescendo did its thing, and now it's like that perfect timing for something else to big
yeah,
to come in. Really,
I was a little concerned there's giving it a 2-week window, but that sounds about natural for these movies.
right.
And then you see that I think today that Mr. Terrific got some trademark license up for it looks like they're gonna try to brew up a TV show for that.
Well, I'm kind of hoping they just do the Terrifics. That'd be really cool because I really want to see Plastic Man. Plastic Man is a member of that, and that'd be really cool.
I'm so glad that everyone kind of popped off on him. Everyone's like, whoa, all right, whoever this guy is, and that's how it needs to be. I think we yeah, of course you're gonna have the main heroes kind of pop up, and everyone's like, all right, that's cool, but like, give us some of the like no names and be like, oh, who the fuck is that? That guy's sick.
Well, I mean, it's the Guardians effect, right? Like you don't really know him, but then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're falling in love with a tree.
I mean, dude, same thing with Suicide Squad, right? Everyone's like Polka Dot Man. That's a funny meme, and everyone's like Polka Dot Man.
Right. And that has people digging in. They're like, wait, there's a guy called Mustard Man?
Oh man, you think David died in the fire too?
Yeah, I think they're down there trying to find something to fight the fire with. Like she texted him that the fire started. He set up here for a whole nother 25 minutes longer, and then went and checked on it.
It's like we're gonna be talking here, waiting for another like 5 minutes. You see smoke coming up there. Did you tell them fire walk with me?
No, I did not. So I go downstairs, and bless her heart, my wife is fucking just in the oven. And I'm like, are you okay? He's like, huh? And she comes out looking like a fucking ore miner. She's got this fucking headlamp strapped to her, and she's got 2 screwdrivers. And she's just, I'm like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, you sent me a very ominous message and didn't reply. And she's like, I just want you to know, just in case I love you. I'm like, that's not a reassuring statement. And she's like, I'm close to being done, I think. I'm like, oh no. And she's like, so just in case, here's where I put the cat carriers. I'm like, oh God.
I was gonna say, did you tell her, honey, it's the washing machine that people get stuck in, not the oven.
All right, so well, the TLDR is we have a natural gas line for the house, so all of our appliances run on gas, and my house is ancient, and it runs off of.
Can I say really quick? It'll be a fun fact about David's house. It's so funny. Every time David goes up the stairs, down the stairs, he has to duck his head in a certain way. Otherwise, he would just slam his face into the wall.
I basically have to conga my way down the stairs.
And then that means David or Kels would have to, because I walked through it and it's like perfectly my height where I can walk through and not the duck whatsoever. That means David, being much taller than me, has to duck.
But yeah, so my house is very ancient, and my house has something that's technically not to modern code, which is that for its natural gas line, it still uses copper piping. And technically, for modern house code, it has to be PVC. So because of that, I can't actually get anyone to work on my house because they just go, that's not the code, replace that. And I go, fuck you. And I just deal with what I have. And so my wife is now going through and rejiggering our natural gas pipeline in our oven. And she just basically wanted me to know she loves me just in case I hear a boom, is basically what it boils down to.
If there's a boom, I assume that you love us as well, so we'll see you later.
I mean, the kitchen is on the other side of the house.
Your house is also like
at.
definitely if one part of it gets knocked out, the whole thing is going.
That is possible. But yeah, so if I hear a boom, I mean, that's the end of the podcast. But yeah, so that's a fun thing going on here right now.
Fair enough. All right, let me go through some stuff here. I figured
yeah,
because
what'd you
David
buy?
would like some of this stuff. $20. So
Hell
grab
yeah.
that.
I still haven't
Hell
bought
yeah.
that yet.
I forgot I pre-ordered this, but I got
Nice. Okay.
Soul
Good
Reaper.
shit.
The girlfriend surprised me with this, which was very sweet because it's something we were literally just talking about. She got me this thing, which is out of print and also $80 now.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, a lot of the books. I think pretty much every Twin Peaks book right now is currently out of print. So, God help me
Yes.
having to track some of those things down. I think they're all like every book aside from like the Final Dossier is a little cheaper because that was most recent and it's like $35-$40 I think, but everything else is about $80, which is God help us. But yeah, the
Oh shit, we lost them.
all right. Oh, hold on. Fuck.
Is he gone? Did Adrian go boom?
Yep. It was his
Oh,
own that went
no.
first.
Oh shit, we've been invaded. Dr. Yum.
He's getting ready for the movie. So wait, is that Robert Downey Jr. underneath that?
No, it's just Adrian.
It was me. It wasn't Robert Downey Jr.
Oh shit.
You fool.
We're too poor to afford Robert Downey Jr.
Why would you assume it's Robert Downey Jr.? He's not Doctor Doom. He's Iron Man.
Yeah, that's literally what's going to happen in the movie. Kel just spoiled it. I forgot I pre-ordered this, so I got the notification. Hey, it's 10 stops away. I'm like, oh fuck. But this thing is sick though.
Has like that brush metal look to it.
Yeah, and it comes with the stand too. So unlike my
Oh.
other helmets, it comes with a stand on there. So
All right, fingers crossed. I just got a message saying running a test run, standing in the bathroom.
yeah, that was my my other purchase there. On that, looks sick. Excellent addition for the helmet wall, which I hope whenever I do get a different place, I can put that in the background because I do miss the helmets being in the background for sure. That's about it. Games, David.
I haven't really played anything because I've been focused on the tabletop.
Fair. Kels?
Played a little bit more Tarkov.
Okay.
Still a fun game. Still just as addicting as ever. So I learned that the patch that they just had, this wipe, is supposedly the last one before
Oh.
it officially goes into 1.0 release.
Real quick, sorry. Everyone turn cameras off. All right, turn back on. Oh, I think I fucked it up for this game, for this podcast now. The meme was ruined.
Oh no.
No. I finally have a good fucking camera footage finally too.
Let me see if this works. Let me leave the call and come back.
Of Adrian's desktop now, so there's that.
Let's see. Does that save everything? I don't know. I always forget how this works because, let's see. Everyone leave the call really
Hell
quick.
yeah, I'm Adrian now.
It was. I mean, let's see. Everyone leave the call real quick and come back in about 5 seconds.
Okay.
Let's see. All right. Testing. Let's see this. Yeah, why is it? I don't understand that. I thought I figured it out before where it was like the order of how people came back in, but it's not.
No, because initially it started because I was watching the stream and Kells initially loaded in as Adrian. And then as soon as I popped in, it booted Kells over to Kells and I became Adrian.
So here's what we're going to do. Just because I'm absolutely not going to go through and re-edit that because it'll just go back to what it was next week. So we're just going to turn the names off. Now it doesn't matter. Who the fuck cares? All right.
I mean, we could just put fart and pee jokes in those little slots and just change it up every week.
Funny. Kels, Tarkov.
Yeah, so I've been playing that. I learned that after this wipe, supposedly it's going into 1.0, like the official launch, which feels really weird because I know the game's been out for almost 10 years now, technically, in like early access, beta, alpha, whatever you want to call it. So very weird, but still a lot of fun. So no big complaints there.
Did you I don't know if it's in the news, but did you guys see that Splitgate is going back?
Yeah, and that might be like the death nail of that game, right?
Yeah, that's we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, that reminds me of Tarkov finally coming out. I was like, well, some games going backwards.
All right, real quick. It looks like we have a hot oven without a combusted wife.
Hell yeah. Sorry for your life insurance, but I'm glad she's still here.
I mean, I'm glad because she is my sugar mama right now. She makes the real money in this relationship. I don't. That was me a couple of years ago. We take turns making real money.
Right. Well, you guys are both making good money for a little while too. That was the dream big moment, huh?
That was the dream big moment. Because at that point, she was close to 100K and I was over 100K, and that man,
you guys were like in the uppers, like what? Probably top 2%, probably.
We got to experience what it was like being upper middle class, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, go back to those. Go back to like episodes. Like
go back to those days when I impulse bought fucking Zebo for $250, and then the next week impulse bought a $400 version of a rare Shin Megami Tensei game.
Yeah, every week David's like, "Well, here's this. I spent about $400 on this thing." David's like, "All right, fuck it."
I did the math at one point. I was spending like about $1,000 a month on video games.
Where'd that David go?
That David got fired from that job because they got bought out by another company, and then they downsized the workforce in half.
Shouts to AI.
Yeah, it's fucking lame.
I did have that sobering talk because I saw a former student yesterday, and they were helping one of my coworkers with the classroom, and I was in there too, and they were talking about how they were for college. Like, yeah, I just don't know what to major in. They're like, I was going to do computer science, but that's not looking hot right now. I'm like, yeah, and I was like, the unfortunate thing was like 3-4 years ago, if you heard about a kid going to computer science, like, oh, you're set, dude. Like, you're good.
Sadly, it's become about as useful as a fucking arts degree.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate because that was a lucrative choice not that long ago. Anyway,
I'm glad I never paid for college.
Yeah.
Even though it fucks me over because that's an auto thing that AI recruiting assistants will go ahead and not send you forward or on jobs if they don't see you have a college degree. So I constantly lie and just say I'm in the process of getting a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what are they going to do?
Call my bluff.
Okay. All right, cool. We call my bluff. All right, I'll go try somewhere else then. All right,
Oh
so
yeah, played a bunch of Marvel Rivals too. Phoenix is fucking sick. I like playing Phoenix.
I haven't booted up yet. I gotta play. I gotta boot that up soon.
She's a lot of fun. Very rewarding if you can hit shots.
Okay. What are they again? DPS.
Yeah, she's a duelist.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, she shoots, and whenever she does, she marks people. If you hit them 3 times, they combust. So she does like a big AOE kind of like combustion that marks other people around them, and they do the same thing. Whenever they get 3 marks, they bust. They bust.
All right. Interesting.
But people die really quick with that.
I
It's
mean,
kind of like Moon Knight. Whenever they're grouped up, and everything just gets bounced
ooh,
around.
okay.
It's kind of the same thing, but she's
I'm
more
in.
hit scan. Like it's less the projectile, it's more hit scan.
Yeah, I just gotta wait a little bit because everyone's still probably auto locking her, right?
No, not quite. Like either that or I'm just loading in really quick.
You're the one auto logging.
Right.
Yeah, we'll have to play soon before I go back for work for sure.
For sure.
Side note, I've been still rocking that new Twitter where I just kind of just talk about just like my like interests. I don't get into arguments really on there, which is nice. 168 followers though so far.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I think that thing's brewing. I might want to start advertising this on there instead now. Like I posted my my helmet wall earlier today, and it's already got like 15 likes and like got a lot of people watching it, which I'm like, all right, that my actual Twitter is like dead as fuck sometimes. All right.
That's how I feel too.
Yeah, no. So I've discovered just like I never really put two together, which I don't know why I didn't, but how I talk about how like YouTube algorithm stuff like that just caters towards like direct interest of stuff. If your Twitter is like how Twitter kind of used to be, and it still is, right? Where it's like, yeah, it's kind of stream out of conscious, just my own thing. Twitter doesn't know what to do with it, like what the fuck to do with your account, so it just doesn't pop you up anywhere unless you've already had a huge following. So I've been on this other one talking pretty much mostly movies and games, maybe a little bit of music here or there, and like hitting the algorithm and trying to like I interact with people a lot more, and it just pops my stuff up now too. So it's like I can post something and naturally people kind of just see it now. I don't know. I'm trying to work this algorithm shit because it's nice once it kind of like I don't really give a shit ultimately too much, but it's nice just not throwing stuff in a void that you think would be cool and just like maybe one person reacts to it and you're like, oh, cool. But yeah, so games. I forgot to mention this last week. I have booted up Tony Hawk 3 and 4.
Hell yeah.
Good stuff. Really, really cool, nostalgic. Just going into it, you hear CKY popping up, and you're like, "Oh, that's the shit right there. That's the good stuff." Played through, and I've been going for 100% completion. So it's like and this is how I was as a kid too. I do not like moving on until I can get everything in the level. So and it's funny because like, Tony Hawk 1 and 2, I think I played like 2. Didn't really play 1, and this one I've never played 4. I only played 3.
4 is the one I never played too. 1, 2, and 3 I played the shit out of, and then 4 I skipped over for whatever reason.
And they separated levels. I don't know if 1 and 2 did that, but they separated levels, so you can play through all of Tony Hawk 3, and then you go to Tony Hawk 4, which is pretty cool. But yeah, man, it's so funny. Just like, you know when you go back to that game you haven't played in a long time, but like it pops up and your brain just goes right back to where it was. You're like, all right, I know exactly what to do right here. Like that's the coolest thing ever. So when it's like, ooh, punish the bully.
You know exactly where the secret tape's at.
Secret tapes, and it's like, oh, refresh this guy in the water or whatever. You're like, oh, I know, I'm gonna grind that rail right there, and he's gonna fall right in. It's like stuff like that. You're like, all right, yeah, your brain just kind of goes back to it. I always think that's fun. But yeah, super good. Good for short bursts because it does have that 2-minute timer. And I remember being a kid, and I would love to just like overtime as much as I could. But yeah, and I'm obviously playing on Game Pass, but I guess if you buy the extra $20 and you get unlocked Doom Guy and stuff like that too, so I'll probably have to do that eventually. So I've been playing that a little bit, and I just poked my brain into Donkey Kong a little bit. It's I'm not quite in the mood for the platform right now, but I've been just playing a little bit here and there until it kind of clicks with me. But so far so good. It's cute. It doesn't really wow me currently. But shout out to people that did, because it's got fucking
I'm
amazing
gonna say, I've
reviews.
been hearing that this game's like the second coming of Christ. So.
Yeah.
Right. I keep seeing the popular. It's this is the best platformer Nintendo's ever done, and that
Yeah.
just kind of pisses me off whenever I hear that.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say if it is, because I'm just at the very beginning, but I can't say I could say it probably won't be that for me. It's still fun, but it's not. Yeah, it's not the second coming or anything. I still hold a very high accolade thing for like stuff like Odyssey. I fucking loved Odyssey. And 64 is just forever just an amazing game. It's so hard to top that, which is incredible, right? Being the first of its kind and just still being just so replayable. Literally, like, if you can go back to 64 and fix it, if you just fix the camera a little bit, right? Like, stop making it like so, like, you know how it moves like in chunks. If you just smooth that camera out, that game is just forever just locked and is being a solid game. Perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so play a little bit Donkey Kong. It's all right so far. And just finally, since I'm calming down off my hyperfixation of Twin Peaks, I'm just now busting out Yakuza again. So I'm gonna start going back to that a little bit. Unfortunately, Expedition 33 is getting put in the back burner for a little bit, but I will sometime before the end of the year beat that.
I'm worried that at this point, by the time I get back around to it, I'm gonna have to start the game over again.
Your talk about that
in.
made me think that it's probably gonna be the case for you.
Yeah.
Especially because you're gonna go through a Twin Peaks thing, and after this, yeah, you're totally gonna have to reset that game. But this just further pushes you to the person you are, which is you should just finish the game and be done with it, and then move on.
That's why I usually do that, and then I got out of the habit of that again, and that was a mistake in life.
Right. I was thinking about, because yeah, this is, I mean, technically, I guess I don't know if it counts. This is the first summer in a long time I've not traveled at all. Technically, that's kind of not true-ish, because I guess on the first day of work, I have a flight to Reno for the weekend real quick. So I guess kind of I have my first trip before the kids come back. But I was like, damn, a week and a half. I was like, I haven't done anything. But I think about it, I'm like, I mean, I knocked out Breath of the Wild, Age of Calamity, and all of Twin Peaks. That's not bad. Those are three beefy sized things that would never have gotten done otherwise, right? So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll take that win where I could right now. But definitely wondering if I can squeeze in something like Peacemaker or something before all is said and done, especially with the talk of how much Peacemaker Season 2 is going to play into the effect of all this.
Regardless of what happens in Season 2, I think Season 1 is still just excellent. It's so good.
I've heard really good stuff about it.
Like John Cena entirely on another level with it.
Have you seen that trailer for that A24 Rock movie? Yeah,
the Smashing Machine.
Yeah,
that one's really interesting because I watch a shit ton of MMA, ton of UFC, so it's really gonna be really cool to see something like that.
And see how The Rock actually does when he's not typecast into the same.
Right, and whenever he doesn't even look like himself, really, like he has such heavy like facial prosthetics on it, so it's kind of crazy.
Mark Kerr, that's Trade 50.
Yep.
Yes, but yeah, did I do anything else? Nope. Did you guys know that Microsoft stopped selling shows and movies?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that news story.
Yeah, that tripped me up because I do check the movie deals weekly, so I was like, where the fuck did it go? And yeah, I guess they stopped doing that last week, which is interesting.
That's the only reason I didn't share it in the group chat, as I presumed you're usually up on that. So I'm like, well, Adrian knows this.
Yeah, it's just gone in the store tab. I thought I was losing my mind for a second. Like, where did it go? But yeah, it's done. They do let you watch all the stuff you bought, which is good because that would have been egregious if they didn't sell that shit for 20 years or something like that. And just,
I mean, for now at least.
Right, but I mean, we'll see. Hopefully, but the good thing is that those movies a lot of times go to the movies anywhere, so it links to your wider account that you can use everywhere else.
Remember, if purchasing is not owning, then piracy is not theft.
That's
It's
fair.
true.
News.
Yeah, we got some news to talk about. All right, let's. Was I the only one that watched the Pokemon Direct today?
I
Yep.
think so. I've heard some people say it was really bad though.
I heard some. I mean, dude, I'm gonna be honest. Every time I see a Pokemon Direct, I hear the same thing, and I'm like, why did I wake up for that?
Hey, I had a fun time with it. So here's the thing: it really comes.
Dude, that is the
the
fucking best thing I ever seen all year, dude.
No, well, here's the thing. It really, the problem is that with a franchise as massive as Pokemon, it really comes down to what aspect of Pokemon you're interested in. And if you're only interested in like one specific
I
thing,
only care about
it's always
Pokemon
going to be the
Sleep.
worst thing. Well, good news. You got some new Pokemon Sleep news.
Hell yeah.
There was a new feature announced. I don't know what the fuck it was because I passed out during that part of the fucking talk.
You bet Pokemon sleeped away there from there.
Yeah, it did its job. I slept. No, but here, I mean, the thing with the Pokemon Directs is really always going to come down to just what aspect of Pokemon you interact with. But it is a little weird that they didn't have anything for Pokemon Pocket at this Direct. So apparently Pokemon Pocket Italia was like, all right, we got it, bro. No problem. So the Italian storefront for Pokemon Pocket dropped the Pokemon Pocket trailer for the next set. So that's how we got to see all the new cards already, not because of our
What's the
Pokemon
next
Direct.
set?
Next set's Johto.
Oh shit. Okay, cool.
And it's got
Fuck
baby
yeah.
Pokemon and special energies.
When's the last time you guys played the game of it, like besides the collecting part?
I play competitive every season. I'm almost out of Ultra Ball right now.
Yep, not me.
I haven't played a game of Pokemon Pocket since like April or March, I think.
Yeah, I'm almost in the top ranking right now.
Hell yeah, dude.
You still repping the Wheezing boy.
Now he's still like, okay, so I lied. I did hop back and play like maybe a month or so ago. It was definitely before the Eevee expansion. I think it was the Buzzwole one.
Yeah.
I hopped in and played, and yeah, Weezing still fucking kicks ass. Like,
Yeah, I
really
use
surprising.
Wheezing, the Nihilhago, or whatever the fuck it's pronounced. And I threw in the fucking Guzzlord there just because it unfortunately just gave me a fucking brick wall that I sometimes need. But yeah, but Wheezing is still the primary boy that gets work done. But yeah, I fucking
Maybe
enjoyed
going into
playing
that.
that.
I have not. Koga was always my favorite deck.
Oh, dude, Koga and Weezing's fucking insane.
It's always fun, but especially
They're
when you get the right
fucking
hand,
tough.
you start bouncing
And,
them back and forth.
with Leaf too, because Leaf is fucking dummy good too.
Hilariously, I don't even use Leaf.
I cut down to 1 whenever I was.
I use 2 X speeds just because I needed faster abilities.
So
There's so much hand disruption now in the current meta that it's not even worth holding on to anything you have 1 of for most part.
Not to deviate off of that, but I guess we're gonna go back to Pokemon Direct anyway. But
I'll talk about it a little bit. So go ahead.
On the card game mobile front, this is the first month since launch back in like October, 2023 ish. I
Yeah.
think that I've not spent money on Marvel Snap. They have they started doing this thing where same thing. Season pass season pass was already $10 a month, which like paying $10 for to play, but it's also I play daily, so whatever. What they've been doing, and they've been doing this for a while, but it was $10 for that, or you pay $20 for the season pass, and you get some extra rewards, just cosmetics, variant cards, extra steps in the battle pass, which I'm like, no, I'm good. But they've been now, they also now as of this season, they added a whole new card with the premium pass too. So you now need to spend $20 to keep up with all the cards a month, and I'm not spending $20 a month on this game. That's too much. So I saw, and it's obvious.
A real card game at that point,
right? I don't mind spending $10 a month. That's fine. I play the game every day, so whatever. But like $20 a month, now you're starting to like, no, I'd rather save that towards something else, right? But I also saw that people on the subreddit have been like livid over it. to the point where even the developers were like, oh, we were not expecting people to be that upset about it. Yeah,
We weren't expecting our greed to get the better of us.
right. Which it's like I get they got to raise money like that, but like, dude, so
Do they
there's
not?
and I don't know too because like they had to buy their rights back because remember after the whole TikTok ban that they got hit with that too, so
Yeah.
they bought their rights back to hold on to it, and they were like, oh, maybe things won't be as egregious because they don't have someone like at the top trying to ask them for more money. And then we're funny enough, they need more money now. Um, but
Yeah, they don't have that infinite pool of what Chinese
The NetEase
conglomerate.
money,
yeah.
the net.
So they've been asking for more on that end. So there's been a big like, not I shouldn't say big. I mean I don't know if it's gonna affect anything. But a lot of the players have been boycotting this season for that. And as per with a lot of these fucking card games, like that card becomes the meta, right? And which and it pisses me off even more when that card's the meta, and then the bonus card on top of that is also very complimentary towards that. So I'm like,
Yeah.
motherfucker. So out of like
Well, it's
all
so weird, right? Because like they can either have a card in there that doesn't do anything and it's kind of piss poor, but no one's gonna buy it, or they
Mhm.
put in something really good that's gonna make
Well,
everyone want to buy
that
it.
well, that's why like even fighting games too. A lot of the characters will come out busted because you'd rather have a busted character people all buy and play than a one that doesn't really give a shit and no one buys, right?
Well, that was the big argument for Overwatch there for a while. Everyone's like, just make them fucking busted and strong at first, so everyone will want to play it. Everyone will come back for it.
And then you just piss off all the mains of that too because now you're like, all right, let's tone them back. And I was like, what the fuck? Uh, but yeah, so now I'm like, I'm looking at the tier lists of the game now, and I'm like, I can run exactly one deck in the top of the tier list that everyone's kind of running with the meta, which is a fun deck still. So I'm rocking that one, but I'm like motherfucker. So yeah, I've been I think now that I've got the what do you know when you finally pull away, same thing I did with Overwatch kind of where it's like once I missed one season pass, I stopped buying
Yeah.
season passes for that
Yeah.
game. I think this might be the reason. This might be the pull I need to like. All right, I might now become a free to play side of Marvel Snap because once you lose me and I break that, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm good. So still playing daily, but it's like it's been no, I've not spent a dime on it all month. I'm seeing the light on the end of the tunnel where everyone else, I saw other people like, huh, you can play this game without having to pay money. All right, it's like, all right, shout out to you guys. You guys kind of just made us see the light, so you're not getting my money now.
Michael, low key, one of the things I love about being on an alternative phone operating system is I couldn't even pay to win on things if I wanted to. And it's fucking nice because it makes me reaffirm that, oh, yeah, if it's not able to just be played naturally without spending money on it, it's not worth my time on a fucking mobile phone.
What do you mean by that?
Like, if I could go ahead, going through the example of, $10 a month on that game. If I needed to actively pay $10 a month to stay competitive in a mobile phone game versus using that $10 a month towards any other actual fucking game that I could just
Sure.
buy and have on my shelf.
Sure. I think the only thing you have to do with those kind of games is just be patient, right?
Yeah.
the card will eventually go back into the rotation of stuff that you could acquire via other methods of playing. It just takes a little while.
Think for the price of one Marvel Snap Battle Pass, how many copies of that Aquanaut story that doesn't have English could you buy?
Exactly.
One.
No, I mean like math on it. I was paying maybe $10 to $15 a month on Snap, just via season pass, and there was a gold pass that like gives you like extra money. So it equals up to more like that way. But $15 a month and you just multiply that by a year, like okay, I'm good now. So I don't see myself paying for the gold anymore. And I don't see myself paying for a season pass anymore. So they might have successfully lost me. And I'm like, yeah, no, you know what? Like, maybe I don't need to play every day. I'm on that. Which again, it was nice playing it because I definitely just enjoy the game. But before I would doom scroll a lot, and I'm like, it did stop me from doom scrolling a lot. But now that I have my other Twitter, which is a much better algorithm than seeing a bunch of the bullshit I do on my regular Twitter, I'm like, all right, I think I might wean myself off of something right there. So shouts to developers of Marvel Snap for saving me money, I guess. Anyway, Pokemon Direct.
Yeah, so shout outs to the new set of Pokemon Pocket that wasn't a part of this fucking Pokemon Direct. But yeah, excited for Johto and for baby Pokemon and special energies. We'll see what happens. But for things that were announced, like I said, Pokemon Sleep got an update. Don't give a fuck. Then we got some updates for a new Pokemon game called Pokemon Pals or Friends or some shit like that. It seems to be like procedurally generated puzzle game. They have to pay $10 for, and then
Oh,
it
there you
has
go. I
two
put my money towards
$15
that.
DLCs.
Put my money towards that. I'm good.
Shout outs to that. They also went ahead and showed off some real shit. Pokemon Concierge Season 2 in September. Excited for that. And ironically, Pokemon Concierge is a hella cozy show. And
I need to
always a
watch the first
sucker
season of
for...
that. It looked pretty
It's
solid.
fucking great.
I like the art style
if
of
you-
it.
I love the kind of just like cotton looking stop motion. It's phenomenal. Super fucking cozy. Great show. My only complaint is you can binge the entire show in like a half hour. And then you're like, well, that's it. But good news. More is on the way. So I'm fucking excited for that. Also, the folks behind Wallace and Gromit have their own show for Pokemon coming out soon. That is set in the Sword and Shield region, which makes sense considering it's the Wallace and Gromit guys. Yeah. Then we also got an update on and some more solid information on Pokemon Champions, and this is the real shit right here. So Pokemon Champions, when that was first kind of teased a little bit ago, everyone's like, "Oh, this must be like their answer to Showdown." And we have confirmation. Yeah, it's basically Pokemon's official version of Showdown. The way that it looks like it works is that you can either import your Pokemon from Pokemon Home into the game, and then they're permanently unlocked and registered, or you can use an in-game currency to either rent Pokemon for a period of time or permanently unlock them. And then once you have a Pokemon unlocked, either through using the in-game currency or through bringing them in from home, you can then go ahead and tweak their EVs. You can tweak any of their moves. You can tweak their nature. You can tweak whatever item they have. And you just basically spin up a competitive team, and then you just play Pokemon VGC competitive. And it's very likely that starting next year, that'll just be the official means of playing competitive Pokemon is Pokemon Champions. And looks fantastic. Nintendo already put out a statement basically saying that you can't buy any of the in-game currency. You have to earn it by playing the game or doing like daily rewards, stuff like that. So there won't be any pay-to-win mechanics with it. It'll be very just play the game and you'll eventually get everything that you want. And again, if you want shit faster, bring in all of your Pokemon you already happen to have from Pokemon Home. But otherwise than that, it seems to be just a very quick, rapid fire way to get you into competitive Pokemon. One thing that was kind of interesting is watching a lot of the competitive players run calcs is it looks like they got rid of IVs, which is fascinating. Because there's a system to tweak the EVs manually. It's just like a little slider they put on there. But all of the Pokemon that they showed off that they went ahead and run the calcs on, looks like it's just defaulted to everyone having max IVs in all their stats. So it seems like the IV system may be gone, which could also maybe be a thing that is a bit of a spoiler for Gen 10, because that should be next year with the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, is maybe the IV mechanic just goes away entirely, which I know has a lot of the pro players with mixed feelings. For me, I think it's great to get rid of a hidden mechanic like that serves only purpose for min-maxing at the highest level of competitive. But otherwise
you
than
mean
that,
the whole premise is about being the Pokemon master?
yeah.
Yeah. Shouldn't have systems for that highest level of competitive.
No, because
Okay.
Pokemon Master is a 10-year-old going, this gym only uses this type. Let me only catch Pokemon that beat that type. Ah, shit, let me do it again for the next one. Because we haven't had a competitive single player in ever of official Pokemon, so.
Yeah, we do. VGC. That's competitive.
No, but not for single player. So the single player content is what most people play.
I mean, the whole game's like a meta commentary on the whole game in general, right? Like the whole pro scene. I
Yeah,
thought that was
I
the whole
guess.
thing. Like we're each our own in-game character. We take those teams that we built and play them in IRL.
It's true. I am a 10-year-old girl, as my character in Pokemon is. Well, child of indeterminate age, and that age keeps rapidly increasing with every Pokemon game, which is interesting.
Yeah, because they're not
Uh,
literally a 10-year-old girl. They're just a blank slate protagonist. You're red.
True.
What
Or
if I like
green.
blue?
I just completely disagree with the idea that you should strip away the high tier competitive stuff out of Pokemon. Like the whole Pokemon Champions thing, I think that's fucking stupid.
No,
Uh,
well, here's the thing. It doesn't strip it away. It streamlines it. The only thing that's
yeah,
being
it strips
stripped
it
away is
away.
IVs.
It literally rubs away the rough edges. I mean, I
It,
understand
it,
if you
it
don't like
rubs
that, you don't.
away one
I I
mechanic that
I
just is
under
one of the most time consuming, annoying parts of competitive.
That's fine if you don't like to do that, then don't put in that work. But it's just one of the steps that you have to do. Like you can't get good at playing soccer unless you take 100 shots at the goal, right?
The only reason I partially disagree is because of the fact that, like, right now, if you were to try and get into competitive Pokemon right now the current format has two legendaries that are allowed on your team. So in order to go ahead and get max EVs or max IVs of those two legendary Pokemon, you have to own the games that those Pokemon even exist in. You have to play the game up to those points, and then you have to either RNG manip those Pokemon, or you have to go ahead and keep reloading and reloading every fucking time to get them.
Yeah,
And
I
for
don't
some
think
of
that's
those
an issue with the
Pokemon,
game or with the systems. I think that's a issue with like the meta bannings.
no, that's an issue with when it can legitimately take 40 hours to get one Pokemon for your team because it's
Just say
just
don't
relying on
you
the
can't have
engine.
legendaries and it takes that out.
No, because that's for any fucking Pokemon.
No, it's not. You
I
can
mean, granted, for Pokemon you can breed. Yes, you can
yeah,
go ahead and spend, a week going ahead and passively breeding Pokemon until you find that one that has perfect IVs.
been there, done that.
I mean,
I'm just saying, like, it's not that hard of a system. It takes legwork, yes, but it's not like an impossible task. There's
I,
ways that you
I
can cut it
here,
down the time. There's way that you can change the odds, and that's been streamlined to like a fine point. And the fact that we now have Pokemon Champions, where it's like you don't even have to play the game, just unlock your guy, move the sliders, get off to the competitive scene, you're good to go. I think that's fucking stupid.
no, absolutely not. I removed the barrier for entry. All right, here you go. Just go
What
ahead.
barrier? Playing the game?
well, I
Well,
think
it's
I
not
think
just playing the game because you cannot create a competitive team with just except for in the beginning of a new game's release, because that's what they always regulate it to, is the initial, here's the Pokemon in the Pokedex, and then after the first regulation they open it up to whatever's in Pokemon Home. You
Then
cannot
that's
create
an issue with the meta ban, the competitive scene, like the management of it. That's not an issue with the game.
so.
I don't
Really
think.
quick, is let me ask Kels though on this. Is it?
uh,
Would you say it's similar to like in a fighting game where they have like the modern fighting style and a classic fight style, where if they just took away the classic fight style and made everyone play modern, where it streamlines it, allows everyone to do it, but like takes away
No,
this
it's more
art?
like there's a busted character released and they just let it roam. It's like Steve in Smash.
Okay.
But they say, hey, Steve's not banned, but we're going to make it to where you can only play Steve on like 2 out of the 5 maps or something like that. It's like, yeah, this broken thing is going to be broken and we're going to allow it to happen when we could just say, hey, don't do the broken thing.
Okay.
Like, just ban
Actually,
it.
that is an apt comparison. It's kind of like a picture Smash where every like 7 months they're like, okay, we have a rotating ban list. So for this 7 months, you can't use Steve, Bayonetta, Cloud, and then after another 7 months, I was like, okay, you can use them, but now you can't use fucking Captain Falcon, Ganondorf, and I don't know, fucking Ike for some reason.
Well, it just makes me think of like TCGs. It's like they'll pussyfoot around like what the major issue is. When it's like, dude, just ban the meta bullshit and you're good to go. Just take that out of there. Let the meta run wild. It'll settle somewhere, sure, but it's going to be healthier than the fort. I think they're going about it the wrong way, because they're like, oh yeah, we don't want people to spend 40 hours save farming for this one legendary. We're just going to change the whole game up. It's like, bro, just change your ban. If you don't like that, just say this isn't allowed for competitive, that you can't use this legendary or any legendaries. But
well, that's the funny thing is this is
people
the
are going to be
first
upset with it.
this is the first metagame where they tried that. The Regulation G, I think it was called, was the first one that said no legendaries, period. You can't use legendaries, you can't use mythics, you can't use Paradox Pokemon, which is the new kind of gimmick Pokemon of this gen. Just regular staple Pokemon. And the cruel irony of it is that only like 6 or 7 Pokemon were being used. And they like consistently 50% plus of every team use 2 to 3 of those same 7 Pokemon.
Well, it's also not the full Pokédex, right? It's just whatever the current game is.
No, it's
Or
a
is
full
that-
Pokemon. Well,
oh, okay.
no game is like the full like 1,000 plus Pokédex.
Right, it hasn't been that way
But
since
it-
like what the game, the
Sword and
DS
Shield,
game.
yeah. But you know, it was still like 800 some odd Pokemon in there.
I mean, and that's just what happens with competitive games, though, right? Like you'll have thousands of decks that you can choose from in Magic, but there's only gonna be like 2 or 3 at the top.
Yeah. And so and that's why I'm not entirely like, how to phrase it. Having played in not the same, but in relatively comparable competitive scenes with TCGs, I get the idea of wanting to run a floating ban list of like, okay, we're just going to keep having shaken up metas, because I feel like that is a bit more inventive for a creative scene. Like, all right, every few months, we're just going to shake up what's allowed in the format. I think that does constantly allow for, instead of always having one consistent meta that just exists the entire breadth of the game, it then allows for, all right, well, we know that for the next few months we have to deal with this shit, but after, you know, that period of time, it's going to be entirely different. And we're going to have to go ahead and rebuild, work towards that. I like that conceptually. And that's why I like the idea of, all right, barrier to entry, remove that, let it just be. And maybe this is also part because of the fact that I'm a hardcore draft player and I don't give a fuck about you spending all the money you can to build your one fucking deck when, all right, give me the same tools to build whatever I want. I'll be fucking better than you. So yeah, go ahead, give me the tools where I can just create whatever the fuck I want, and I'll show with creativity and actually just being able to build whatever without the massive time sink, that yeah, I can compete at the same level.
I can kind of see the modern and classic controls comparison, though.
I think for fighting games, that's probably the most apt comparison, in all honesty.
Classic rewards those people that put in the work, and then modern kind of streamlines it, get people in, get them out.
Right. It's so funny seeing my students get so salty, like seeing a modern player up there. I'm like, you guys get it. Fuck them. Fuck those modern players. Learn the fucking way I did. God damn it. You know what? Fuck you guys. If I had to walk uphill all the way through all the snow and you guys got to too, fuck off.
Yeah, fuck them.
Oh, it's so funny because I'm like, yeah, I've been there. I get it. I get so mad when I lose to modern players. I'm like, you fucker, you can't do the shit I can.
All right, update. My wife hasn't blown up yet, and she's making cornbread. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Before David's next one, I'm curious. Kel said there was some news today concerning an Xbox thing. I've been scrolling through Twitter. I've not seen anything though, so hit me with it.
Yeah, so I guess Forbes reported that Fable may not release until actually 2027.
Oh no! No!
So
I can hear my wife crying already.
I out of all the games, that one makes the most sense as to how it being so far off. I don't know how much
Yeah,
more.
because we still haven't seen like really fucking anything for it.
No, but you figure it's a brand new game engine, brand new everything. The developers of Forza fucking Horizon are having to learn all this
They
new
just got
stuff.
laid off too. A lot of the Forza people.
Not
Yeah.
Horizon.
Or it's Team Forza. It's a regular Forza.
Yeah, that was so turn 10. That's regular Forza. Playground Games is good. Microsoft knows don't touch the fucking ones that give you the only high praise games you get these days. But yeah, you have all those people learning. It makes sense why that game's taken so long, and I feel like those developers, just even though we don't have anything besides Horizon, which again is incredible, but you don't have anything else to judge them off of. I'm just getting that feeling that they know the weight of this, and this is like the make or break of it. You know, it's like Perfect Dark. You fuck this up, we're never seeing Perfect Dark again. Shouts to Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
We'll never see you again.
Yeah.
If you fuck up Fable, we're never seeing Fable again, right? Like it's gone, it's done. So they probably get that idea of that. So they're
Do it
probably
right, do it slow.
yeah, and I imagine they've shown enough of it to be like, all right, there's something there. I have always had the feeling I have a lot of trust in Playground Games. I'm sure they're not doing the smoke and mirrors thing apparently like the initiative did. So fingers crossed that one would be the one to slip if I had to pick anything of it. But if we're not seeing it in a major way still next year, right? Like if we're talking like Xbox Showcase next year has nothing to Fable, that's panic time, and I imagine there's something bad going on there. But
I mean, we still haven't seen any sort of gameplay out of it.
we've not, and I imagine they're really biding their time on that too.
Like I feel like that'd be the easiest thing to do. Like give us a little bit of gameplay, but we've only got these fully rendered, like beautiful CGI.
You know
cutscenes.
what's funny is I've always been a gameplay person. Like, please show me gameplay. I'm like there's time and place where a cutscene is the one that gets me. Like, sure, like a Gears E-Day, right? Like, great cutscene or a great trailer. But show me gameplay. I don't know. After the initiative, I felt like a real big burn where I'm like, we're still doing this Halo 2 shit where it's like you guys are just making shit that just doesn't exist.
Well,
So-
see, I'm honestly kind of fine with that as long as like the end product like kind
It looks like the same,
matches it
sure.
in a way. Yeah, like I'm fine getting the idea of like the framework
Sure.
of what's going on. Because even watching like the stuff for Perfect Dark, like I kind of know like okay, it's not gonna look exactly like this, but I'm getting the tone. They're going for like
Okay.
gritty, kind of like Mirror's Edge type of.
I can dig that.
But like Fable, we've not seen anything, so we don't know what. Like even the cutscenes are so weird, right? They're trying to do the Fable thing of being kind of like dark and witty at the same time, but they also try. The
It also seems like an
cutscenes are
actual
trying
serious game.
Yeah, they're like trying to build towards a story or make it like they think that we understand what's going on. When everyone's like, "What the fuck's going on?"
Right. I'm
Such a weird situation.
very curious about that because yeah, that's also a very weird. You're taking the franchise away from the person that as much as Pierre Molyneux is an interesting entity, that is his baby too, right? So taking it away from him and like trying to run with that, it's going to be very interesting to go about it. Definitely of all the games I'm most curious about of Xbox, and it has been like that for a while. I don't know. I'm curious, but I don't know. Apparently, we're getting a Halo game next year, probably.
Yeah, and apparently a bunch of those people like are unhappy with the production of what's happening.
What is there more story behind that I missed? Recent?
Yeah, well, it wasn't like let me see if I have it bookmarked, but it was like someone interviewed some unnamed Halo studio workers, and they're just kind of disgruntled with how production is going for the new Halo.
Lovely. I don't know, man. I think about that and I wonder how much I would want a reboot of Halo.
Well, I think they're just scrambling, and that's what the issue is probably. They're just probably scrambling, and everyone's like having to make changes on the fly as stuff comes down the pipe, you know?
I don't know how. Well, I mean, I do know how. Microsoft's just like fumbling this production cycle of everything, but I don't know. I'm concerned, but I'm just gonna let it ride at this point. Whatever. David, other stories?
I didn't even finish the Pokemon Direct.
Right.
Really, the only other thing they announced beyond that was we did get new trailer footage of gameplay for Pokemon Legends ZA. And we got to see a new Mega Evolution for Dragonite.
Oh yeah.
Looks fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Grows wings out of its head, and it gets a little bead tail to be closer to design.
I do like the
Dragonair.
bead tail, but the wings out of the head thing is really stupid.
Yeah, I just saw that actually. I saw the one story you didn't mention on it was there's the Pokemon Park. It's kind of cute.
Yeah, new theme park in Japan.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
care. I
Yeah.
sleep.
I will go to
I'll
Japan
never-
someday, so I would hope that would line up with that because it seems kind of cute that it's like a town and There's a Pokemart there, a Pokemon Center, and all that stuff. That seems kind of cute.
I will definitely go to Japan one day. I'm not gonna waste my time there going to fucking theme parks.
You know what? I don't know if I agree with that. Sometimes I like the idea. Oh, I've also been to more than you, so I guess it's kind of fun to see the comparisons, right? But I
Yeah,
would
I don't have interest in theme parks usually.
right.
I want to go Tokyo Disney so
That's
bad.
what I was saying. I would love to go to Tokyo Disney just to see like how culturally different it is from ours and
Right.
like what they so you go to a different country, right? And you just see everything just completely different. But I would love to see. It's like when you go to like a McDonald's in another country, right? It's like what's their take on our stuff?
Why would you?
Because there's also different menu items too, right? They do specialty stuff of like their. It's a very
I've
different.
never understood that. If I'm going to a whole new country, I want
David,
to
do you
like
understand what a double quarter pounder is called over in Europe?
What's it called?
Isn't it a Royale with cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just like to see people's takes on art. It gives me a better understanding of things, honestly. Like,
Yeah, but if I want to see their take on our shit, I'm gonna go to like an actual like local restaurant that's like American Bistro, and I'm gonna go fucking experience something like that. I'm not gonna go to just their McDonald's and fucking experience it. I'm gonna go into the place that looks like a fucking goddamn Wish Texas Roadhouse.
Oh,
And you're
you
like,
know
all right,
that,
what kind of weird shit you got here?
Well, there's that bar in Tokyo or in Japan somewhere. It's like like an American like Western bar.
Exactly, yeah. I'm gonna go to the place that's like an actual local establishment.
see,
that's like, we
I
have the 70 United States,
See-
and I'm gonna be like, all right, let's go.
see
Flat
the
steamer with way too many stars.
Tray 50 with the mixed sushi sandwich. See, I disagree with that 100%. I for example, when I was in Pittsburgh, just like shit 15 years ago, I was at a restaurant with some friends out there and they had like the Santa Fe burrito. I was like, oh, I kind of want to get this to see how different they're or like what it is to ours, be honest. But it feels like a caricature, like they're trying to hit something like that. Whereas McDonald's still tries to conform, but they can't conform 100% because it has to have some layer of their culture identity in there, which is why they have their own specialty items, stuff like that. Even the service is different, right? Like I think that's a more accurate representation of what their take of our stuff is versus their like their way of like trying to be 100% of ours. I don't know how to explain it perfectly, but like also it's not like I'm gonna get my whole ass meal at McDonald's, right? I'd rather prefer a local place over that. But if I'm gonna step in there, probably just like to try something just out of the curiosity of that thing, and that kind of makes sense too. Like,
see if their ice cream machines are broken all the time too.
yeah, no, they're gonna be working 24/7, and they're gonna apologize profusely if they're ever broken. Same thing with the Disneylands is I think it's a cool idea to see like what does Japan think of Disney and how everything's so Americanized there. Is it very representative of everything on there?
That and Disney already is like such a weird place to walk into because like how like clean it is and how like well kept it is. And I feel like going to like Japan Disney is gonna be like on a whole nother level.
Right.
Well, it's especially weird because especially if you're talking about like fucking Disney in Florida, it's like, yes, come through this cesspool to get here.
Right.
Into the one shining beacon in this fucking state that doesn't look like it's built on cockroaches.
Yeah, it's so weird.
But even like Disneyland, Disney World is
yeah.
pretty interesting just how opposite they could be sometimes. Like they it's like it meshes in where like, oh, this is exactly what I remember. Oh, that's very different. That's very different.
No, shit's all the same to me.
They do like Monster Hunter stuff at their Universal Studios too. That'd be cool to go see.
Mm-hmm. I said it's like weird integrations they have with just like our stuff and their stuff, and that's just really cool to see on my end. Indiana has Holiday World and Splash and Safari, and that's about it. Interesting.
Safari's cool.
Yeah, but I would love to do Tokyo Disney as well. That'd be kind of interesting to do on there. And yeah, I would do a Pokemon World. Hell yeah. Same thing with like Nintendo Land and stuff like that. I'm doing that shit for sure. Okay. Next news story then.
All right, now the next news story. So while we're talking about Japanese cultural exchanges, let's talk about one of my favorite parts of that, the VTuber industry. So there's been some guffaws going on with a major player in the game, VShojo. So to give you a TLDR, VShojo is one of the major corporations for VTubers. They kind of prop themselves up in the beginning as being the more kind of like indie one to join because as opposed to like a Cover, which is the company that owns Hololive, where they're like, "Oh, we own your character, we own everything." The idea behind VShojo was like, "Oh no, you still own your character, you own your identity, your trademarks, etc. You just come join us so that way we can make marketable shit out of you, and then we'll like trickle some of that money back over to you." And so a lot of people are cool with that because like, oh, those are opportunities I wouldn't have otherwise, and it gets me extra revenue, etc. So a lot of people like the concept of VShojo, especially the idea of like, I still own my character, I still own my identity, essentially. And there's been a major controversy where their basically highest ranked VTuber, Ironmouse, winner of Streamer of the Year at the Game Awards, has just left the company as of today. And the whole reason behind it, she actually is having a legal proceeding against them right now. But to give a little bit of backstory for anyone not too familiar with Ironmouse, she is someone that suffers from CVID, basically a very horrible immune deficiency where she effectively doesn't have like any immune system. It doesn't exist for her. And so because of that, she gone into VTubing because she's like, well, I can't really communicate much with the outside world, so I'm just going to experience it through this hobby. And became one of the most popular VTubers outside of Hololive, essentially. And because of that, she and other YouTubers do a yearly charity trying to save money or raise money for the CVID Foundation and to raise awareness for that. The way she was explained it is because of her agreement with VShojo, anytime she does earnings through Twitch, it first has to get filtered through them, and then she gets the payout from them, kind of like the old Machinima model, where anything that goes through the partner channel goes through them and then back over to the creator.
Like a
and exactly. And so what happened last year was, they went ahead, they did a subathon through Twitch, raised a lot of money, raised a lot of awareness. Perfect. Nothing was an issue there. They just did another big subathon this year. And as Ironmouse was kind of going through the books of it, she realized that Cover is missing a couple million in payments to the CVID Foundation. And so she is now going through legal proceedings to figure out where the fuck the money went, Lebowski, as as VShojo ran off with millions in this whole process. So she has left the company, and she is suing basically to get the money to go to the CVID as it was intended. And what a fucking wild thing to go ahead and like that's fucking ballsy to go ahead and just scrape someone off the top of a fucking charity fundraiser. That's absurd.
It's a bummer that it doesn't shock me anymore, which is how often that happens.
It shouldn't fucking shock anyone, but at the same time, like, fucking disgusting. Like, especially the way you are propping yourself up to be like the good alternative to being like a proper corpo. Absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah, someone's gonna do some time for that too, because isn't that a big time felony?
Oh yeah, Japanese laws do not fuck around with that at all, so that's gonna be fun.
Don't steal.
So yeah.
So she's not graduating though.
No, she did not graduate because VShojo doesn't do graduations where, again, they don't own the characters, so they just continue on like nothing happened.
Gotcha.
Yes.
They just get new management.
Essentially. And the life lesson she learned today is, unfortunately, don't let someone else be your manager. Just do it yourself.
I was thinking of the Thanos thing. I'll do it myself.
Exactly. On to other bits of news here. Where the fuck did that news story go? Fuck, I had it pulled up just a second ago. God damn it, maybe it's still on my phone.
Get it done, David.
I almost had a flawless news presentation here. We got a new game announcement today that fucking I was super stoked for. Shout outs to, this was leaked last week.
Theo from the Cosby Show died?
Yep, seen that too.
Oh shit. Was another baby born?
Yeah, did she have twins? Oh man, that sucks. Malcolm Jamal Warner was great.
It should have been Bill.
It should have been. It should have been. Drowned. Oh damn.
Fucking hell.
That's unfortunate. What the fuck? Yeah, accidental drowning in Costa Rica when he's visiting his family. That's unfortunate. Rest in peace, bro.
Yikes.
That day.
David, sorry to interrupt there.
Yeah, no. Well, I guess going with the theme a little bit. So there was a tease for this last week, and I sent it in a group chat, and I said, I swear to fuck, if this ends up being an asymmetrical fucking multiplayer game, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. And I was pleasantly surprised because today we got a trailer for Hellraiser Reborn.
Yes, you did.
And it actually looks like a proper single-player survival horror game.
The collector's edition looks sick too. Have you seen that?
Yes, it comes with the base version of it has a glow-in-dark version of the Lament configuration, or you can get it with the new version. Do they call it the Lemon configuration? Is the new one or something like that?
Yeah.
But I'd be all over that if it wasn't for 1 year. My wife made me a Lament configuration for my fucking birthday. So shout outs to her. It's wonderful being married to someone that's actually competent in life and has real life skills beyond making a fucking sand think. Because that's all I do with my life is I make sand think, really, when you break it down at the end of the day.
Smart sand.
Smart sand. But yeah, so this game actually looks fucking great. I appreciate the trailer starting off with a warning of content may not be suitable for all ages. And the first thing you see is a fucking completely naked chick getting railed. I was like, yeah, thanks for that warning. Yeah. You're right. This is definitely not for all ages. And it does sound like it's Doug Bradley as Pinhead, but I can't tell if it's just a reused line from the movies or not, because there's nothing that sounded unique to it. And I'm pretty sure every line is like something that you could point to a specific moment in the earlier films. So I'm not sure if they actually did get him back to reprise the role or if they just reused audio clips. But this game's looking fucking great. Unironically, I have been waiting for just any Hellraiser game, in all honesty, forever. Hellraiser is one of my favorite horror franchises, and to see it finally, one, get a game, and two, in the sea and era of every fucking horror franchise getting a fucking asymmetrical versus game that dies in 7 months, getting a proper fucking single-player survival horror romp is a wild and crazy thing. And Clive Barker is confirmed to be working on the game. He is working with the team for the writing of it. So everything will be Clive approved. Yeah, I'm fucking stoked for this. This has been what I've wanted for my entire life, and I'm glad to fucking finally have it.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of surprising that more Clive Barker stuff hasn't been made into games yet, or at least more overtly made into games yet.
Especially because he's someone that did have an active involvement with gaming before, because the Jericho series got a game that he did also directly work on. And then he had an original horror game, Undying, that he did. So it really is a weird surprise that he never just had a Hellraiser game really prior to. I wonder if that's because of Miramax having the license for so long. Because we talk about that a lot, where it's hard to tell if like the movie license is like any multimedia license or if it's just movie license. But
Well, that was the big thing about Friday the 13th too, right? It was like a big rights dispute, and that's why that game got kind of axed super early as well.
yes, and Pinhead was actually in Dead by Daylight, and like I guess
Mm.
at the beginning of the month they just pulled him from that.
Yeah, I feel like we were just talking about that not too long ago too, about how Dead by Daylight just kind of gets the pass. Really, they just kind of get to do whatever the fuck they feel like.
Yeah, they can do whatever they feel like, but it's also the sad reality of the nature of that game is like it's really cool to have all these tie-ins, but they can be pulled at any fucking moment. So it's like, why get invested?
Right. Yeah, and that's such a
Like,
weird thing too. Like if you're selling something that you know can potentially just not be there one day, just someone's lawyer comes in and says, "Ah, nah, gotta get out of there."
exactly. So I
They found a
mean,
loophole.
so shout outs to this Hellraiser game. Looks fucking fantastic. I meant to go watch because I imagine Gore has a reaction to it, and I'm like, oh fuck, he must be hyped as I am. And I meant to go look at a reaction. I just didn't have time earlier today. But yeah, I'm so fucking excited for this game. Unironically, it is. Horror fans are eating good this year. Goddamn! And in fucking less than 2 months, we'll have Silent Hill Forte. It's gonna be a great fucking time.
In
I know
general,
what you
movie
did
wise
last
too.
summer is in Call of Duty.
Who was?
The fisherman from I Know What You Did Last Summer. He's a skin in Call of Duty.
Oh
Interesting.
boy.
There's something
Yeah,
weird. Call of Duty's
horror
kind of
fans are
coming
eating
for
good, man.
Fortnite. It's weird.
It's yeah, they just added like Beavis and Butthead. They add Stan and Roger from American Dad,
Yeah.
but they do have a skin for Roger that you can play as Ricky Spanish, and that made me really tempted to get it. I fucking love that character.
Just unfortunately, the only reason why I wouldn't indulge in random ones is because those Call of Duties eventually do die.
Oh right.
Fortnite is gonna live forever, so I can buy a skin on there. I'm like, yeah, I can play this in about 5 years, and I'm still have that skin, you know.
Exactly. Yep.
Also, Fortnite is so massive that even if it did die, I imagine there would be such a community trying to revive that game.
Nope, released 3 years ago. Interesting. Nope, it's a great
Holy
movie.
fuck, it's already been that long?
Yeah. I had a
I
memory
think that's
pop
my
up.
favorite Peel movie so far. Like after like rethinking it and kind of sitting on it longer, I think that's my favorite.
Yeah, I go. Nope, get out than us.
Yep. Same exact order.
No, not yup. It's nope.
Nope.
David, if it does it hurt you to know, I had a memory picture pop up on my Facebook, and it was 11 years ago today that we were in San Diego.
Holy fuck.
11 years ago, and you look at those buildings on the cliffside, being like, "What the fuck's wrong with those people?"
Pompeii 2? I didn't know there was a Pompeii 1.
Yeah, that was 11 years ago. Time flies. Horror fans are eating good this year in general. Even the movie side, dude. Everything's kind of
Yeah,
popping
because
off
wasn't
right
there
now.
actually a new What I Know What You Did Last Summer that just came out or something?
That just came out. Final Destination, Sinners, hey, Friendship,
gotta watch Sinners.
Oh yeah, Weapons comes out in like a week or two.
Weapons, and then
Can't wait for that
Together.
one. Oh yeah, Together. That one looks sick too. Love
Yeah.
me a good body horror.
Definitely in for Weapons for sure. Jennifer Love Hewitt in the next DLC is 350.
Wait, for which one? Call of Duty or Dead by Daylight?
Yes.
Both.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. Real quick, I just pulled up Gore, and I will say Gore's thumbnail game has been getting better and better. And goddamn, he has the best cocksucking face in this fucking Hellraiser reveal trailer for his thumbnail. Like, that man is ready for 5 cocks right in his mouth.
I wonder if he's using that Mr. Beast thumbnail AI.
Oh
No,
my
they
God.
he canceled that right away.
What?
Yeah,
come on,
he like a
man.
day later he found that and did that, but then of course other companies are like, oh no, we'll do it.
Yeah, actually, we have no conscience.
Yeah. AI bros just can't let it go. Let's see. I want to go look at that.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I see that face.
Yeah. Speaking of bros, I don't know. So one of my favorite subreddits as of late has become LinkedIn Lunatics. And there's been like a fucking drama that's been going on this past week. that even people that don't follow LinkedIn or weird subreddits have been kind of talking about. Did you guys hear about a Coldplay concert that happened
What do you mean
recently?
we here, David? I think we're more tuned into the zeitgeist of the internet than you are. So it's more like, have
Fair
you heard
enough.
of it?
Well, yeah, yes. So
You're like that.
this
You're like that
Coldplay
weird
concert.
grandpa. You're like, hey, grandpa, have you heard about these memes? What are memes? Dude, there's my favorite. One of my favorite things of all time is my best friend. This is years ago. It sent me this random short clip of like 7 seconds of him in the car with his mom, and his mom's like, what are these memes? And he just starts cracking up. No, I'm
Memes.
serious. I'm seeing this thing pop up. Memes. What are memes? I fucking love that video, dude. Holy shit. Anyway, yeah, Coldplay. It's been funny.
Yeah, so shout out to that. For those that are
I'm gonna
not in those,
gonna buy this
go
shirt. I
ahead.
saw a shirt. I really want this shirt.
It ruined his life.
Let's be honest, it didn't ruin his life. He got a golden parachute.
I mean, his marriage is fucked, and I think he's on leave right now.
That's fine. He's got money.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I imagine those types of people have prenups, so his money's protected, I'm sure.
We'll see.
But yeah, so the TLDR of that, which I find fucking hysterical, CEO of a company takes his brand newly promoted head of HR and another person that is a friend of the head of HR who they just hired onto the company to a Coldplay concert, and they were caught on the fucking kiss cam.
Which
Uh,
everyone says, and I agree with it. If they just acted like normal human beings, they would have been fine. Probably, like maybe eventually a slip would have happened and it would have been much more quiet. But the fact that they acted so guilty, fucked them
yeah.
incredibly. And I love seeing the reactions people doing it now. Like there was like I think a Philadelphia game or something like that. And they did that, and they're going through, and then they got to their mascots, and the mascots started doing the same thing again. The two mascots were holding each other. They got on the camera, they started freaking the fuck out. And then other people, yeah. Now every other there's been other games where they do the kiss cam. And every couple does the same thing now. Every year, something happens to some CEOs. I'm for it. I mean, granted, this time it wasn't death, but we got take the wins where we
We're
can.
for that. Don't get us wrong. We're for that. But
Yeah.
this year it wasn't that.
It wasn't that that subway or that subway. It was the submarine. It was
yeah.
our boy Luigi. It was I saw a picture of this. I forget what. I think it was like one more thing, and I was like, "Yep, we get our wins where we can, boys." And you know, nothing brings the nation together like fucking over some CEOs, because this has been a much bigger meme than I thought it would be. I was like, it was kind of funny for the first day or two, and everyone's still going with it. I'm like, hey, that's funny though.
Well, it's even funnier just because of like how unironically a lot of the people that just fucking live and breathe LinkedIn have been handling this, which is part of why LinkedIn Lunatics is now like one of my favorite fucking subreddits. Because
LinkedIn Lunatics is so funny.
like unironically, the amount of people have been like using this as like, okay, here's how you can use this to better optimize your business to business marketing strategy and how you can own something like this and turn it into a sale. And then you have the other side of the spectrum, like, really, this is an invasion of people's innocent privacy. So maybe we need to start abolishing these kiss cams. It's an egregious and gross thing. It's like, we're at a public fucking venue. What the fuck are you talking about? An invasion of your privacy. There are like 20 people probably around you that are either punching the shit out of each other or showing their tits. Like, I don't know
Hey,
what
you know
privacy
what's
expectation
you know
you
what
have.
else is an invasion of your sacred marriage?
Well, that doesn't matter. That only matters when you want to take rights away from other people.
Apparently, people are funny. Yeah, people are like, I hope people don't get weird about this. I don't give a fuck. Be weird. It's funny.
Did
But
you
yeah,
see
that's all the news I got.
Did you see that the dude that did the stratosphere skydive died?
No.
No.
Felix Baumgartner.
What happened?
Well, like I didn't see like a full story on it, but I guess he was doing another stunt and he was paragliding, and he, I guess, passed out at some point
Oh shit.
and ended up crashing into like a resort like pool area and like hit like one of the cabanas or some shit and died.
Should have been Bill Cosby.
Right, the wrong one died. Should have been Harvey Weinstein.
You know what they should do is they should put them on like the stratosphere and said, "Hey, if you survive, we'll forgive you."
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, we'll forgive you if you can survive this, and your old 70s your old body can handle drop from the.
Just turn it into a fucking Saw game. Just all right. You know what? Fuck it.
Yeah, do Squid Game. You know what? Do Squid Games with all the CEOs that need to be like forgiven, and whichever one wins, we'll forgive it. That's fine. Everyone else is
You're good
fucked.
to go.
I'll forgive one CEO if I guess 455 or more. Just take the hit or something like that. Yeah, no, it's that's unfortunate. The people that do that, it's like the free climber, right? I forget if they're still alive. But they have that like addiction to like the dopamine rush and the adrenaline to like need to keep doing that stuff that's crazier and crazier, and it's like eventually it just fucking it fucks up, dude. Like you can only like dodge death so long and get that high from that until eventually it's like, all right, hold up, bro.
And like, especially after you jump from the fucking stratosphere, like 20,000 feet, like that should have been
Like
your
after you
crowning
succeed that, you're done. Like you've
Yeah.
done it. You've proven yourself. There's nothing else.
Right,
for you
but
to earn
the way
in
you
life.
say it, but think of the way you say that you're done. Like then at that point, what else do you have? You're chasing nothing else, right? That's the thing is when doing something so.
Fucking being cozy and not fucking.
No, being cozy is the
lying.
last thing anyone like on that end will want to do. Like that is a non thing. Coziness is the antithesis of everything they live for. They need to live for something. They need that adrenaline rush. That the same thing like the Jackass crew back then, right? They had to do something. Like that was just the way they lived. They just had to keep doing stuff. So it
Fucking, I don't know, get into porn, do something like it's somewhat constructive at least.
No, it's unfortunate because I can see a lot of that with those thrill seekers, and it was, I think the free climber dude was, I think his parents were talking. They're like, yeah, he just kept, like, it freaks out just how much he just like constantly needs to chase that high. And then when you just do one thing so crazy like the stratosphere, it's like, well, what do you do afterwards? You have to keep up in the ante. You can't just stop.
Fucking drop from the moon.
Saitama could do it.
Yeah.
Why can't you? Shoutouts, that sucks.
I mean, it sucks, but I also don't have sympathy.
I mean,
like you went into that chasing that.
no, I
like,
mean,
then,
again, I have sympathy because that's kind of a weird addiction that they obviously suffer from, right? But I mean, the way I would say the silver lining behind it is they probably died painlessly, right? And they died doing something they like doing. So
56 years old.
yeah, damn, dude, that's old.
Old ass.
Old head.
Yeah. 2XKO got a release date.
Oh, good.
fucking 2073, because that's when people will care again.
Well, it's gonna come out before Fable.
Yeah, there you go.
September 9th.
All right, you heard it here first. Let's go ahead and make that the launch day for Marvel Token. If we can get that, please.
Well, that's also Marvel Token is going to be at Evo. It's going to be playable there. They're doing, I guess the playable characters are going to be Captain America, Iron Man, Storm, Star-Lord, Miss Marvel, and Doctor Doom. So no Spidey or Ghost Rider, so that fucking sucks.
I can't fucking wait. The game's gonna.
Well, guess what? You gotta wait, David. All right.
Yeah, you can't get what you fucking want. Okay.
Yeah.
But I want it now. I need my 4v4.
Yeah, I just want to see what the full roster is going to be. I hope it's a big one.
Yeah, if there's not like fucking 50 characters in this roster, like what a missed opportunity.
Yeah, what are we doing here?
Like you can't have a 4v4 and only have 15 characters. That's too small a roster.
No, like, yeah, because there's going to be so much overlap, or there's going to be like the apparent one or two really good ones that everyone's just going to have on their team.
Like at minimum, you got to have like a good 35 characters. I mean, what did Dragon Ball Fighter Z initially launch with? Wasn't that like fucking like 40 characters?
That's a good question.
All right, let me search this up here.
Well, they also were like, wasn't it like Goku Super Saiyan?
Yeah,
Goku
14
Super Saiyan.
Goku versions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they could make. I mean, you could just make a fighting game with all the Spider-Man in it. Which that'd be kind of sick, honestly.
The base
Actually,
roster for Fighter Z was 23 characters.
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of just hyped
And
myself
then
up. You know how
Wolverine
sick I said if Marvel game just had a Spider-Verse fighting game.
That would be pretty sick.
Hell yeah!
Give us another Rise of the Imperfects.
Makes me miss that Insomniac multiplayer game that could have been.
I know. That's the one, like, every time like I see something about it, it's like, God damn it, why couldn't have this one made it
Why
through?
couldn't you let them cook?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Let them cook just for this one. That's all I want.
Trey 50 in the chat, good Blade video game. Maybe Microsoft will still have that.
Yeah, if that one makes it.
That one I heard is.
I mean, that's Marvel money. I imagine they're still getting that done regardless.
I mean,
Didn't something Marvel, was it the Hydra one that got canceled? Or no, it was a Black Panther game. Yeah, that one got canceled. And
I
supposedly
heard
there's still an Iron Man one that's supposed to be coming out on PlayStation, right?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
heard Blade is creeping up to $100 million.
Sheesh.
How the fuck does a Blade?
Sheesh.
What the fuck are these companies doing? All right, step one for a good fucking Blade game. Make it a
Dude,
fucking
okay. Actually,
beat 'em up.
that's
There
a
you go.
good,
Enjoy.
no, fantastic transition because David
Well,
Arquette.
Arcane already knows vampires. They did that one really good vampire game. They can just throw Blade in that, right?
Are we done with news stories?
Yeah, I got nothing else.
All right, so I actually that's a good transition because Kevin Feige came out and did a big press thing that he doesn't really do very often.
And he said, "I fucking hate video games."
Yeah, you got it. But it was a pretty lengthy interview, and I kind of want to go through. New Rockstars came in and gave a bunch of like they did like 20 things that they pulled out of it. So let me go through some of it and let's see what stands out to you guys because Blade is actually mentioned in this. So the first one, let's see. They do have a 7-year plan for Marvel currently. They said it goes up to 2032. It's on magnets. It can move around, which is kind of all right. We kind of figured that. Let's see. What's this next one? They said that they are planning to just like reboot or recast for all the main characters eventually anyway, which has to happen. So here's the full quote from Deadline. Excuse me. With Downey not playing Doctor Doom, are there plans to recast the core Iron Man, Captain America, etc. on the big screen? Yes and no. Feige says or sees the stars such as Chris Hemsworth still in his prime to play Thor, and even cherishes the return of thespians, i.e., Tim Blake Nelson's Samuel Stern in Captain America, and thespians of who played Marvel characters years ago. But yes, in terms of long term, like with many other story franchises, Marvel classic heroes will get new faces. So I mean, I feel like we all knew that, but that's kind of like them saying, yeah, we're gonna go through this eventually. And then he says,
well, see, that's such a weird term too, because like a lot of them are like titles, right? Like, are they saying like specifically? Are they saying specifically like Tony Stark will come back, or are they saying like, oh, Iron Man will?
I imagine
that could be anyone in the suit, right?
I imagine they're meaning that. But let's see. It says when exactly, and he says X-Men is where that will happen. So I imagine they're saying the core. Obviously, that's kind of what we all figured was Doomsday and Secret Wars being the last hurrah for the X-Men that we kind of know, right? You know what I mean? So like this is the last time we're gonna see that, and they're gonna reboot into something different with that. But it said X-Men is where that happened. In addition, post Avengers Secret Wars, there's a plan to reset singular timelines and reboot the MCU. He says, and then also obviously with they mentioned R-rated movie stuff, and they said, yeah, after Deadpool and Wolverine making 1.3 billion, yeah, they're gonna, where appropriate and where necessary, they're gonna go with more R-rated movies, which is smart.
So it sounds like they're just gonna do like typical Secret Wars shit. Franklin's gonna reset the universe. We're gonna kick it back off with X-Men. Then we're gonna get slowly reintroduced to Cap,
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Yep.
All the familiar faces through the lens of the mutants.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, we kind of called it then. It's gonna be X-Men versus Avengers, and then that's kind of gonna lead into the whole Secret Wars shit.
So, something you might find interesting, Kels, is that Kevin Feige relates the MCU as the Ultimates version of the Marvel universe in there.
Interesting. Did he specify like modern Ultimates or
Yeah,
old
like the
school
one like you
Ultimates?
see Nick Fury in the Ultimates, I imagine, right? Yeah, so he relates the MCU kind of like
Oh, that's
as
old.
that.
I can see it, especially if that means they got plans for the Maker in there.
Mm.
Because that's how they can do it. They can just have the Maker, and then like I said, the whole thing with Franklin hitting the reset button, he reforms the universe to the Ultimate Universe.
I mean, we get his first steps soon.
That's true.
I
I really wish they hadn't spoiled that too, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like they were hinting at the baby and everything, that's cool. Like they were hinting, then we found out about the pregnancy. Then all of a sudden, Franklin's born. Then all of a sudden, Galactus wants the baby. It's like, stop. Quit.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Stop
we
that.
need to fucking know all
Find some
this.
help.
Yeah.
They said that they're focusing on lower budgets. But let's see. Quote, we were talking about a structure, and they said also like different types of genres. So we're talking about a structure of an upcoming post-Secret Wars movie that I won't name, but I will say, like Shang-Chi, it's getting back to a genre we haven't done and that we've been wanting to doing. So how can we do that movie in this genre? We would focus on a singular storyline. Focusing on a singular storyline by embracing a certain genre we haven't seen in a while.
And another thing too is like it's so weird that he would call the MCU like the Ultimates, because the Fantastic Four is like a huge piece of the Ultimates, and we're just now getting it. It feels kind of like backwards.
You're right.
I wonder if that just means that they're going to be just that much integrated. Like it might be a while before we get like a proper Avengers, and we might just get like the Future Foundation for a while.
They said Kevin Feige confirms X-Men will be young mutants who feel like they don't belong in the MCU reboot.
Fuck yes, thank God, dude. I don't want to jump into them being like 20, 30 years old.
They need to last. Like that's the thing.
Like
they need to be here for a while.
Right, and that was the biggest thing that kind of pissed me off about like Apocalypse and stuff in those movies is like I really like the whole idea of them going younger and doing like an actual like first class, and that's really cool. But just everything else about the movies kind of fucking sucked.
Well, it's like I see the MCU, and I mean they can't say much about Spider-Man, but like Ms. Marvel is a good idea. Like this girl can just do Ms. Marvel for the next 20, 30 years, and that works.
Right.
You know?
For sure.
This part says, quote, from the wrap, I don't want to talk too much about X-Men because that's still a ways away. But you look at what the X-Men comics have always been. They've always been young, and they have a place to tell stories about young people who feel different and who feel like other, or who feel other, and who feel like they don't belong. That's the universal story of mutants. That's where we're going to go.
Finally give us a proper Jubilee, you fucking cowards.
I'm sure. And then I think the way New Rockstar says it, and I can kind of see it, is that the Mutant Saga, which kind of comes after this, is really going to be like the Professor X mansion, and just really they said that they kind of see it as, he kind of predicts it being kind of like a Hogwarts kind of, right, where you see these young characters kind of grow into their own in this like central place, like the X mansion being just like where they just kind of grow, and that's how they get to become bigger than and better eventually. But that's kind of how he sees that. I can see that being a fair prediction.
I would love to see like an X-Men like live action TV series. Like it doesn't even have to be like the main team specifically. It could be like some of the people in the offshoot team.
And that's the biggest bummer of this, and I don't know if it's coming up or not. But they have said they're going to focus on 3 movies a year and 1 live action show a year.
Only 1, interesting.
Yeah, that's a crazy turn down. I feel like they scared themselves so much on that.
And I don't think any of that includes like the special presentations either, because like Punisher is getting one that we know for sure. But other than that, like that's like the only one other than Werewolf by Night that's been done, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we call the Guardians one a special presentation or not.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, and I think you can get away with 2 shows. I think that should be fine.
I think there definitely should be, with how much material there is for Marvel, doing honestly 3 to 4 TV series isn't a terrible thing. Basically, once every quarter, you go ahead
Uh,
and
so
I think it's doable with the amount of content that Marvel can do. But if you're too afraid of stretching yourself thin, all right, perfect. Then at least do more TV shows than movies. And the only reason I say that is movies should feel like the big special event that everything builds up to. I feel like that should be the key thing is, you maybe have one movie that is the standalone movie. Like you need to have a standalone TV series, but the movie should be the big thing that's kind of rewarding the viewers for kind of following everything along for. You have the team up movie, the standalone movie, and then, the all right, let's tie all these other things together kind of situation.
there's gonna be
It's
a.
kind of weird too. Oh,
Oh,
my bad.
no, you're good. Go for it.
So I think James Gunn recently announced too that they're doing like, was it 2 movies a year, 2 TV shows, and like 2 animated
Yeah,
features or something like
Mm.
that?
yeah. Um,
Or it might have been 3 movies. I can't
I think
remember.
it's. I
But
want to say it's 3, but it could be 2.
yeah, but it was
Um,
2 live action like TV series, and that's what it's kind of interesting with them ramping up, and I guess Marvel ramping down to 1.
yeah. There's there. He talks about that on another point here, which I was gonna say more of, and I'll save it for that though. This one says, Kevin Feige talks about scaling back, losing Kang, and in his text to James Gunn after Superman, says, quote, from the Hollywood Reporter, we had started before we, and I don't agree with this actually. I think this is bullshit. He said, we had started even before what had happened with the actor happened. We had started to realize Kang wasn't big enough, wasn't Thanos. There was only one character that could be that because he was in the comics for decades. Because of that Fox acquisition, we finally had it, and it was Doctor Doom. So they mentioned that, okay, prior to even Quantumania, I think is that still a quote coming up here? Yeah. So we had started talking about Doctor Doom before we even pivoted from Kang, and in fact, I had started talking with Robert Downey Jr. about this audacious idea before Ant-Man 3 even came out. It was a long plan that we had to take one of our greatest characters and utilize one of our greatest actors. I call bullshit on that. In a slight sense, I think he's downplaying Kang. Kang was very obviously going to be a big point in this, and it's kind of what New Rockstar said. Kang, like it was fucking the next Avenger was Kang Dynasty. Like don't say you're pivoting away from this. But I do
We
think
had at least another 2 years of Kang.
yeah,
I will say though that they've done the misdirect before, so that very well could be true, but I don't think it was because we had the whole Serpent Society, but it actually turned out to be Civil War.
Yeah.
right. But I don't think it's this big. I think he's just trying to save face for it and say like, no, this is part of our plan. We're good. I think he's saving face a bit. But I do think what did happen as soon as they did get Fox, I'm sure Kevin Feige was already kind of trying to throw around where Kang would pop in on this. And I can imagine what the plan was originally. Maybe is that Kang is doing all this, and Doctor Doom comes in and swoops away something from Kang, and then Kang sort of becomes the de facto, or Doctor Doom becomes the de facto big menace that Kang was, right? Like almost the Avengers couldn't defeat Kang, Doctor Doom defeats Kang, and now everyone's got to defeat that guy instead.
Well,
I can see that being it.
is all they had to do is because the whole thing why I think it was bullshit is because they had that post credit scene for Quantumania where it was like the whole arena full of Kangs. So all they had to do in the future movie was just have Doom show up, murder them all, bomb them, whatever, and then bam.
And there's rumors that that's still the
Kang.
plan, is to just kind of quickly solve that, just have Doom show up, quickly kill all of them, and that's it.
And you still have the one Kang left that got sucked into like the interdimensional
To become the Beyonder.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think what could have happened in Kang Dynasty is the Avengers fight. They try and they get overwhelmed by the Kangs and they can't do it, and then Doctor Doom comes in, sweeps them, and then everyone's like, "Oh fuck, now we gotta fight that guy." But I do think he's downplaying. Yeah, I think he's downplaying this a bit, though. I don't think this whole scaling back thing is true. Because yeah, even New Rockstar's pointing out, like, dude, Loki season 2 had Kang still like.
That was the entire point of it. Like, so many of the Marvel shows were starting to integrate that.
Yeah. Let's see. Where's this next point at? All right, here's where we come into. We're talking about Blade. Kevin Feige talks about Blade here. He did make a joke saying the obstacle was Ryan Coogler called and said, "Hey, we like the costumes for Blade or for Sinners." He's like, "All right, cool, take the costumes because we're done for a while." But no, he does say, and this is where there's a big thing with Kevin Feige that I super disagree with. Several screenwriters have also been announced through the years, from Watchmen scribe Stacy. I'm gonna butcher the fuck out of his name. Osei Kfor or Bauer. I don't know. Michael Starberry. Feige told Variety there have been 3 or 4 iterations of the Blade story, 2 of which are period pieces. We've landed on the modern day, which is why we can give those costumes back to Ruth, because that's what we're focusing on. On pausing Blade after the exit of 2 filmmakers of Yen Demange and Bassam Tariq, like he says, quote, "We didn't want to put a leather outfit on Ali and have him start killing vampires. You can start and
why
have
the fuck not?
Yeah, you can start and have a good script and make a great script through production, but we didn't feel confident we could do that with Blade." He continues, "We didn't want to do that with the Mahershala, and we didn't want to do that to us."
Well, Blade doesn't need a fucking in-depth script. You know what you do? You copy and paste John Wick and replace the dead dog with his dead mother, and there you go. There's
and
the
have some
movie.
motherfuckers try to ice skate up uphill, you know, like just try
exactly.
It. So it's coming up here. I don't know if he talks about it in here. In the fact, let me scroll ahead, because if he doesn't, I kind of want to talk about it now.
It's honestly so sad that we haven't had a new Blade by now.
It's fucking egregious.
Like,
it's only going to be one Blade.
Full numbers. Yeah, at this point.
The most unironic fucking, like, yeah, you got a Wesley Snipes moment of your...
So yeah, there's going to be a talk here later on that I really want to jump into, because I am so very different from Kevin Feige's viewpoint on this, and I understand why he's going with it. It does really, it shows. I mean, like, I've known about this, but it kind of it's interesting. But yeah, Blade should be an easy script, and I feel like they're overthinking it vastly. Like they are trying way too hard on this one, and they should have just made this a simple, fun one that everyone could get behind. Like, the character's just a badass. We don't need this weird, like,
my only guess is they're overcomplicating it so much is because it's gonna be the backbone for Midnight Suns. There's no way that they're struggling that hard.
So easy. Just introduce Dracula, don't kill him, and then save him for Midnight Suns. I feel like it, like, just do like The Raid or something, but with Blade, and everyone's gonna fucking love that shit.
Fucking film it.
Just have like a big ass building. Blade has to fight like hundreds of vampires in it, and just
fuck
go.
It. I want it. Make it.
Yeah, no, it's weird how they went with that, but shout out to Ryan Coogler being like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it myself in a certain way. It is kind of interesting that all those costumes that were made for the Blade movie just went to Sinners, and how Sinners just blew the fuck up.
And like, I don't understand why they wouldn't want to do a period piece. That sounds cool as fuck too.
Yeah.
It
also sounds like something really different, a little bit out of the realm that we're used to, which everyone would probably have been into.
Right. Again, give us a shake-up.
All right. Kevin Feige reveals Spider-Man Brand New Day's story and Punisher role in the film. Quote, "I think there's promise at the end of No Way Home that as for as sad as Peter's forgotten by everyone, we're seeing for the first time Tom Holland's Spider-Man story, him being a proper Spider-Man, him being by himself, dedicated to saving the city and dealing with, for lack of a better term, street-level crime, as opposed to world-ending events." And I think we talked about this plenty, right? It makes sense. Even the remarks brought up, John Bernthal being there shows it's going to be a lot more street level than world shattering. I can't say, knowing that story though, if it does seem as extreme as it is. Kel's with a smile there. You got an input on that?
Well, it's just so funny. I'm just thinking of like Born Again that just happened, and he murders a lot of people in that. So I'm just imagining like Pete's reaction to
bro, don't do that.
Like,
I can already picture that Spider-Man suit just like,
how do I get blood out of this?
Fucking now I want that Spider-Man movie to be R-rated, and it's the worst buddy cop movie ever. Of just Spider-Man freaking the fuck out.
He's trying to keep him from killing people.
Yeah, but do you guys worry that they're gonna have to tone down Bernthal and
Oh, they're definitely gonna have to tone him
Oh
down.
yeah,
This
there's
was
no
gonna be
way
so
they're
But do
having
you
him go
worry that
absolutely
do you
loose.
worry as to how they'll do that though, or is it like no? I think they can manage that.
I think they'll skirt the line of a hard R, like it'll just barely not be an R.
They're gonna say the hard R.
Yeah, they're gonna save the hard R.
John
for
Berthel's
later.
gonna drop that, and Spider-Man's gonna be like, oh my god.
He's
I'm not
finally
there.
gonna have enough with the thugs of New York City.
Yeah.
He's just gonna drop the hard R.
Um.
But no, I think it'll be one of those things where kind of like a most modern horror films where they don't go for the complete R rating, but they're gonna do everything they can to just barely not get it, so that way they can get that youth money.
I think a lot
still.
of horror movies just go for the R rating. I think it's more rare for them to have PG-13.
Well, it's kind of like that Insidious effect, right? They
Exactly.
PG-13 or
Yeah,
or
because I feel like that's the
PG
most popular.
movie.
We do still get the good hard R horrors every so often, but I feel like
Stop calling it the hard R.
absolutely not. I find it funny. I have few joys in life. Let me have this one.
All right, David wants the hard R. All right, you heard it here first. White guy wants the hard R as his joy in life.
It's true.
No, but I do kind of can't wait for the moment. We're gonna get the moment where he's gonna put a bullet in Bruce and Hulk's just gonna spit the bullet out, and that's gonna be fucking sick. I can't wait for that.
Speaking of
Just eating the
the
bullet.
Sony, about Miles Morales being in the MCU, there's this quote from Screen Rant saying, quote, "That is nowhere. Sony has a brilliant, genius, incredible Spider-Verse animated franchise going on, and until that finishes, we've been told to stay away." So obviously that Marvel brought up to Sony, hey, can we use Miles? And there's like, nope.
You got your
Yeah,
Peter. Fuck off.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I think that movie's not coming out until like 2027 as well now.
right,
Fucking
it got delayed 3 weeks. At that point, we're like, all right, fuck it, just whatever, I guess. But yeah, so now imagining with development time and stuff, we're probably not seeing Miles in the MCU thing until like maybe 2029, depending on if they decide to overlap production or if they decide to wait till after Spider-Verse completely. Which I could see Sony being like, no, don't touch it, even production wise, until after
Yeah, it's
Spider-Verse.
What
that's
a
kinda
wild
interesting.
thought. We're gonna be kissing our 40s by the time we see Miles Morales finally in the MCU.
Right. And it's kind of interesting too because right now in the current Ultimate run, like it's kind of in the same situation. Like Miles got left behind, like as the new universe was created. Like he's still off in another universe dimension, and they're like currently working towards bringing him into the whole, the new Ultimate universe through an incursion. So I feel like it's kind of that same situation where Miles is separate. He's not allowed to be a part of the whole damn thing as it's going on, and then they have to kind of bring him in some.
Off topic, but I saw on my shorts, this dude was doing Family Feud on his podcast, I guess, with two other people. And they was it? We asked 25 Black people, name the most famous name a Black superhero without black in their name or without electric base powers.
Fuck. Other than Blade, what else comes to mind immediately?
Blade's one.
Well, I mean, it's not electric base powers.
I guess
but-
Jon Stewart.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Jon Stewart. My
Steel.
issue is like I have to think of what those 25 people would say, and not what. I
Well,
would
yeah.
say.
if you're
See,
thinking
I'm the
about other
opposite
people,
actually.
yeah.
Once I was like, well, I think my brain just shut the fuck off when it was like without black in them, and I mean, like, I'm like stack shock, and they're like without electric base powers. And I'm like, oh, my brain just died. I was like, oh no, what the fuck? So
Wait,
John,
does Martian Manhunter get the pass?
I think he gets the end pass.
they
yeah.
could, but that wasn't one of them.
Damn it.
Yeah, because immediately off the top of my head, Blade, Steel, Jon Stewart.
Let me go look and see what the.
Jakeem Thunderbolt. He has Thunderbolt in the name, but he does not have lightning powers. Fuck you, it's a genie.
Black Panther.
Oh yeah, there
Puts
you
us
go.
at
No,
5.
because they have black in the name.
Oh,
Oh fuck, you're right.
Let's see.
Are we counting supervillains as well?
Yeah, Black Superman.
Well, that was Steel.
Oh, no, it has black in it.
Well, no, because he gets renamed to Steel.
All right, you're
so it's fine.
missing. Yeah, so Green Lantern was number 1. Blade was number 4. So you're
4?
missing.
Blade
Yeah.
was 4?
So you're missing number 2, 3, and 5.
Storm? Would Storm count?
No,
Oh,
and that, no, and that was
electric wind. They're all.
yeah. One of them tried to make a point saying they could use wind. They're like, nah. So
Yeah.
no Storm. See, it's a lot more tough than you think right away, though.
Yeah, I had 3 locked and loaded, and that was it.
I'm gonna say 2 are Marvel, 1 is not.
2 are Marvel, 1 is not.
If you want to hint, one of them.
Oh, Luke Cage.
Luke Cage. There you go.
Oh shit!
There we
Yeah,
go.
I'm dumb.
We're missing one pretty obvious one that was in a movie this year.
Lex Luthor.
Falcon.
There you go.
There you go.
Well, I guess Captain America, Sam
Captain
Wilson.
America,
Yeah.
you son of a
Okay,
bitch,
if you guys
come
get
on.
this last one, I'd be very happy with you guys. You guys got to think of not. How about this? Animated.
Spawn.
No, that was a
yeah,
guess
that
though.
is a good one. God damn it.
I mean, he's voiced by Keith David. It's close enough.
And Michael J. White.
It is animated. It is not part of a comic series at all.
Not part of a comic series at all.
Animated.
Cole.
Yeah, I don't know.
from Infamous.
That muddies the water for me even more. God damn.
The mouse owns this person. The mouse owns a lot of people, but
Oh, I know who you're talking about. God damn it. Is it Frozone?
Frozone.
There it is.
Yeah.
I hate that that's an answer, but all right, fair enough.
Frozone. I thought that was funny.
That is fucking
I'm
hilarious.
mad that it was that hard to think of the top 5.
Dude, my brain just collapsed. And you said without electric based powers, I'm like, holy fuck, everyone uses electric based powers.
Yeah, 'cause that's Miles, Static, and Black Lightning right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And also, all of their amalgam counterparts as well are just fucking gone.
All right. Let's see. Going to this next one. They're just talking about like everyone who says DEI and woke is dumb. They said that Iman Vellani, Miss Marvel, is one of the best castings they've ever done, and that she's for sure coming back, obviously.
Hard agree. She was great.
Yeah, I love her enthusiasm. That should be the front and center and star of your MCU. Like someone with that sort of enthusiasm, and that just is so perfect for the role. Like, love them.
It was kind of crazy, like how well she like shined in Miss Marvel too. I feel like,
Mhm.
or not Miss Marvel, in the Marvels, because I feel like in Miss Marvel you can kind of like, it's definitely a TV show, right?
Right.
Like it has those vibes, has that production value. But whenever you're on like the set of like a Marvel movie, I feel like there's different.
I'm gonna love to
stakes
see
to
her
it,
in
different
Avengers
settings.
when she starts melding in with the
Right.
Avengers, because she is. It's funny because like Ms. Marvel is Iman, and Iman is Ms. Marvel, right? So it's like
Yeah.
she's such a fangirl in real life and in the show. Fucking like her costume before she was even cast as that was it just showed how enthusiastic she was. She's amazing. I love her, and I've always loved the character Ms. Marvel, so I'm excited to see them so gung ho about that. I'm just it's a bummer that both those just didn't really get the attention they deserved. So I think once she gets put into Avengers, that people are like, oh, hold up.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, are we still getting like Young Avengers at this point?
They mentioned that later on, so we'll get to that in a second. Let's see. Said that. I think Iman is awesome both in real life and on the show. I can't wait to see her in the future. He extended the possibility that seeing other characters introduced in the MCU since Avengers Endgame and other films and TV shows beyond the next 2 Avengers films are expected to be stuffed with heroes when they hit theaters in 2026 and 2027. They did mention. Let's see. They asked, what about stuff like Young Avengers? Is that gonna ever show up? And then Feige said potentially. In that case, it comes down to where's the best story and where's the best strange alchemy. Who would be fun to see with them, each other, because that's what the Young Avengers are, but also mixing it up more.
I guess if you're limiting it to only 3 movies in one show, a show feels like the appropriate place to let them breathe. But at the same time, if that's going to be your one show for the year, you may not necessarily want to commit to that as your one show.
And
Hear me out. This is where you use the Marvel Presents or presentation, whatever. Just do like a Young Avengers one shot. Doesn't even have to be like a big stakes thing. Like they could be like a Young Avengers go to summer camp or some shit.
yeah, I think they're severely limiting themselves in that a little bit too much, but we'll see. On that note, someone said, "Hey, what about Charlize Theron's Clea, Brett Goldstein's Hercules, Harry Styles' Star Fox, and Sacha Baron Cohen's Mephisto? Are we gonna see them again?" And Kevin Feige asked playfully, "Do you want to see them again?"
That's so funny. He's clocking them.
Yeah, so there is a world where we just never see any of them again, which doesn't make sense to me perfectly. Like, I think Clea has to show up. I think that's probably the one.
There's no way we don't get Mephisto again.
Yeah, I think Mephisto's the only like has to show up one.
Clea? I mean, I fed Clea, right? With Doctor Strange 3 being one of the ones that's coming back, and I just feel like Doctor Strange has to be a lot of the key player in this.
Right. They can just kind of like hand wave that though, right? They can be like, oh yeah, that was something that he did and did this, that. Now he can do this. Kind of like just pass over it.
I could see.
Mephisto literally is now hyper ingrained in everything Marvel.
Well, that, and I feel like Mephisto, they can change the actor too, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be Sacha Baron Cohen at all times. He can appear as a fucking Billy Goat, right? Like
exactly.
It does. He's a shapeshifter, so. Meanwhile, the other ones, it's kind of like, yeah, it's gonna.
We're not seeing Harry Styles.
Nah.
Hercules, maybe a possibility, depending on how Thor makes it out of the other side.
You know what? The real question is, when are we getting back Henry Cavill Wolverine?
Right.
You know what I don't like? I hate the Discord of people who are like, oh, just shitting on Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm like, fuck off, dude. I hate that.
Who fucking hates that movie?
It's the natural way that people want to act. Like, oh, this movie's been out long enough. Can we talk about how shitty it is and how it's just nostalgia porn? It's like, fuck off. Like,
you're joyless. If you don't like Deadpool and Wolverine, you're fucking joyless. Fuck off.
Yeah, like there is a time and place for a movie like that can live, and that's totally fine. Like everyone needs that kind of movie, obviously, and fans are receptive towards it for a fucking reason. But like,
and if there's any character that's going to do it, it's Deadpool.
Right.
It's not like we're having like Captain America and Wolverine or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, we're not getting fucking a fucking throwback Avengers film where Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans are throwing on the classic bootleg Iron Man fucking suit and the fucking PJ's Captain America outfit, and they're like, oh, we just cobbled this together just like old times, I guess, and a wink and a nod.
It's just people want to be contrarian for the sake of it, for attention. I feel like, I mean, you're not allowed to criticize a movie. If you don't like the movie, you're fine, but like, to act like it's like one of the worst, like fuck off. That's actually ridiculous. And it's like comics are all about that a lot of times too. We're like, hey, look at all these mashups. Like we got all these people. Like let's have fun with it. You know?
Yep.
Comics are at their best when they're actively recognizing and celebrating their own fucking history.
Yeah, not
like
just...
it's a storytelling medium that has been for many of these universes ongoing for 70 plus fucking years. Like. Have some fucking joy in your life. Fucking goddamn.
And that just happens a lot of movie people. People want to like shit on them and act like they're just superior for, you know. It's a lot of younger people that want to act like that too. Like, oh, you know, I'm just. And I get it. I used to be a contrarian like that in a way too, but I'm like, fuck off.
I've never been a contrarian in my life. It's never happened.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. I have always been a man of the people. I've never gone against the grain in my life.
Good thing we have 306 episodes of proof of that. All right. Then this goes back to something we were talking about earlier. Feige knows Marvel made too many movies and shows. From the Hollywood Reporter, from the first Iron Man in 2008 through Endgame 2019, Marvel produced about 50 hours of screen storytelling. In the 6 years since Endgame, that number jumped to 102 hours of movie and television, 127 hours if you include animation. That's too much, Feige said.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, no. So, and I think, let me see if it includes. Yeah, it includes his next quote, I believe.
Besides Moon Knight, everything else that was too much. Moon Knight can stay though.
So there's a few quotes on this before we get to the conversation on this. He characterizes time period after Endgame as an era of experimentation, evolution, unfortunately expansion. While he's proud of experimentation, he points to TV series WandaVision and Loki as some of the best stories they've made. He admits, quote, "It's the expansion that is certainly what devalued that output. It was a big company push, and it doesn't take too much to push us to go. People have been asking for Miss Marvel for years, and now we could do it. Do it. Oscar Isaac wants to be Moon Knight. Do it." Recalled Feige. So there was a mandate that we were in the middle of, but we also thought it'd be fun to bring these to life. Let's see. So yeah, and then his next point. So yeah, there was way too much at that, and it was a COVID era, right, where streaming just kind of popped off. So everyone's like, all right, just produced fucking everything, but it did kill a little bit. I think that's coming up with the Thunderbolts talk. No, it's actually coming up in here a second. So we'll save that for a second. But 102 hours is a lot, and it does feel like. And I know I've gotten to this with some people on Twitter where it's like it does feel like homework. Everyone's like, it's not homework because you don't have a gun to your head. But I'm like, but why do you want
to watch all of the MCU content, or I could play a Yakuza game? Like, it's hard to balance those priorities.
Plus, like the TV shows, it'd be different if the TV shows were given such care as like any big budget show is now, right? I keep wanting to say Game of Thrones, but let's exempt like the last like 2 seasons of that. If it was like given the care of like early Game of Thrones season, right? Then you'd have no issue. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll watch that. I'll watch that. But there was so much, and the quality of it was also just not up to par that, yeah, they shot themselves in the foot because you're putting out a lot of mediocre stories, and no one's going to want to spend 7 hours, 6 hours to watch this character story when it was still pretty formulaic, right? It was like baller first episode, rest of it was kind of muck, and then like big action scene or big action episode by episode 6, you know? It was kind of
or the reverse, where it was like, you know, you had a really shit to mid first couple episodes, and then like the last couple episodes kind of justify its existence.
Except Moon Knight. Moon Knight's fire the entire way.
Agreed. True. And you know what? I'm like the only person, but I'll say that WandaVision was fucking peak. I enjoyed that as well.
That's the coldest take of all time, I think.
No, when WandaVision was going on, everyone fucking hated WandaVision.
No.
Yes.
No, that's
why.
I
think a lot of people's issue with WandaVision is just like the ending, the crescendo of it all.
Yeah, no, there's a reason.
The fucking sitcom fucking parody of it, and yes, I remember having so many conversations with people that they fucking hated the constant sitcom.
They didn't understand it, maybe, but no, I can promise you, like the reception for that that's why they expedited a lot of stuff. That's why Agatha got the show. Like WandaVision and Loki,
was a phenomenal show that just shit itself on the last fucking episode.
Which, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of what happens. And shout out to WandaVision for doing that too.
Yeah, I wonder if the stuff from Agatha will come back around since the Mephisto's a thing.
I think I haven't seen it still, but I hear Billy is definitely going to be one of the ones that comes back and does something.
Well, yeah, because he was originally supposed to be part of Young Avengers, so I imagine that will happen.
Death too, Lady Death.
Yeah, I imagine that. I imagine Lady Death will get recast though, because there's no way they're paying fucking Audrey Plaza's money every time they want to use her.
Please do.
Yeah.
I mean, please do. Would love that, but
okay, so on that kind of Thunderbolts quote, Kevin Feige Marvel Studios' future quote, Thunderbolts I thought was a very, very good movie, but nobody knew that title, and many of those characters were from a TV show. Some of the audience felt like we're still on the notion of, I guess I had to see the other shows to understand who this is. If you actually saw the movie, that wouldn't be the case. And we made the movie, so that's not the case. But I think we still have to make sure the audience understands that. I do think Thunderbolts is obviously fantastic, and it clears as my favorite superhero movie for sure of the year. So
you put it over Superman?
Yeah, 100%.
Interesting.
Side tangent. I'm making my students do Letterboxd this year, and a few of my students have been keeping up with me over the summer, just kind of emailing me and just talking to me for a little bit. And one of my film production students has been doing that. I'm like, hey, get on top of this. Go ahead and make a letterbox or start logging what you watch because they got a job at a movie theater, so they've been watching stuff now, and it's so funny. I had the big like one of my biggest proud father moments because they mentioned to me and I saw on their letterbox and it checks out. They're like, yeah, I'm watching all these big movies and I've become a lot more critical about them now. I'm like, oh, thank God. And I'm looking. They gave Jurassic World a 1.5 star. And they gave full reviews, which is not just like that, which is cool. But I was super proud of them for doing this, even though I don't agree with it. But they were like critical about Superman. They gave Superman a 3-star, and I was like, damn, that's lower than I gave it.
Right there.
Yeah, I was like, all right, like I like when they could see stuff and they see issues with that, right? It's like that's how you get to become better than that and start avoiding that. But I was like, I had a proud dad. I'm like, all right, cool. You're become bitter towards just mainstream Hollywood schlock, and I'm saying Superman is right, but I'm like, when we talk, I'm gonna try to course correct a little bit because I'm like, Superman should get a pass. I think Superman does buck a lot of trends in a good way. Jurassic World getting a 1.5 star though. Go off. That's fine.
I wonder if that kids watched like Jurassic Park, like the original too.
I'd have to ask for that.
Like if there's like a comparison there.
Right.
And if not, definitely go back and watch Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I don't want that. Yeah, Jurassic World being the only thing they watch. And I'm like, yeah, this sucks.
Well, and see, like a big thing about like the new Jurassic Worlds and shit for me at least is like a lot of it's so much nostalgia, right? Like whenever the theme song kicks in, like you can't help but get the goosebumps.
And that's if you're into that though, right? Like if you're not,
right?
And that's kind of actually what happened with a lot of Star Wars of the new trilogy, right? It's like it just really tried. And I saw it, and again, this is me as a non-Star Wars fan. Now, David remembered, I think, but way back in the olden days when The Force Awakens was coming out. And you know me, I hate spoilers. Yeah. Fuck spoilers. But as a non-Star Wars fan, I was like, all right, guys, I'm going to be the mind checker. So if people would pass me articles, okay, check this. I'm like, it's got a spoiler. Don't go in there. They're like, cool, thank you. Or I'm like, you're good on spoilers. No spoilers. All right, cool. I want to read that article. So I would be the spoiler checker to make sure everyone was doing that because I didn't really give a shit. But I can watch that movie and I'm like, yeah, I can tell they're really trying to go for like nostalgia bait on that end too. But yeah,
to me, that's one of my favorites. I love The Force Awakens.
No, I get that.
I really hate the new trilogy, if only because it relies too much on nostalgia and didn't commit to being something fresh and innovative.
I think Episode 7 need to kind of play it safe because that's how you got to come back. You can't just come in after a long thing and just disrupt everything. I think that's kind of.
Don't be cowards. Disrupt everything.
Yeah, I say that as watching Twin Peaks: The Return. But I think at least with Star Wars, I think it was good to come back safe and just give everyone like the familiarity of like, all right, we're back in this universe, and then kind of fuck shit up, which is kind of why I actually didn't mind
the Grey Knights and don't actually give up the fucking Grey Knights.
As a non-Star Wars head, I actually fucked The Last Jedi. I would love. David hates it. Kels, where do you stand on Last Jedi?
I didn't like it, but it has grown on me in a weird way, but there's certain parts of it I still just don't like. Like the whole casino bit, I don't like it all still.
Okay.
Like it just doesn't work for me.
The milk?
Which the blue milk?
Yeah.
The only funny part of the movie.
I love the interaction with Chewbacca and the Porgs. That shit is so fucking funny to me. Like when he's eating one roasted on the fire while they're watching. That shit's fucking hilarious. I love it.
Also, fucking cowards didn't drop a moon on Chewbacca. Pieces of shit.
Anyway.
No, but they did try to kill him in the was that Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah.
But they took it back. It's like, dude, you should have just had him die.
That's what I mean. Like, that's my biggest issue is the fucking modern trilogy is they were just cowards the entire fucking time.
Well,
here's the thing. No, here's the thing. All right, we're gonna get into this real quick. We're gonna go into this side tangent because I've had this ire because one of Leah's cousins is a huge Star Wars dork, and I adore her cousin. She's a wonderful person, but she's wrong. And my biggest issue is that if you're gonna go ahead and do this new fucking trilogy, fucking be creative. Fucking do something fantastic and unique. And here's the thing. Is the second part of this trilogy. almost teetered on doing something cool and creative. We almost got morally gray characters. It almost fucking happened. We got proper morally gray Sith and
Well, we
Jedi.
got DJ though. DJ I think is kind of like our morally gray character of that movie,
But
right?
we didn't get it. They don't matter. If they're not a Jedi or Sith, they don't matter because this is Star Wars. It's like saying a Saiyan matters in Dragon Ball Z. That's a lie. It doesn't. It only matters if you're a Saiyan. Or Piccolo, because again, we have to have our one token black representation character. So here's the thing with Star Wars is if they would have actually just had Rey and fucking Kylo both just say this is fucking dumb and piece the fuck off together and just be like, all right, fuck the Order, fuck the Jedi, fuck the Sith, this is all fucking dumb. We're gonna go be Grey Knights now. Okay, bye. Fucking there you go. That is how you fucking do it. Actually go ahead, do something different. Stop giving us the same boring fucking good versus evil, light side versus dark side. Actually give us the neutral route. Give us the fucking Grey Knights. Give us them wonderful, beautiful orange fucking lightsabers as God intended. And actually go ahead and do something fucking different. Don't punk us out with this bitch ass, Daddy didn't love me enough, so now I'm gonna be a Sith and kill him. Oh, Rey, come and join me because fuck Luke. Luke's a little bitch. He's hiding away. You want to come join the dark side? And Rey's like, I don't know who I am because the entirety of my life has to be determined by who my parents are. Well, fuck parents. I killed mine. It's okay. No, I can't. Fuck you. What was the point of any of it? Fuck right on off. Fucking cowards. Just fucking have them ride off into the sunset. Fuck the Sith. Fuck the Jedi. Grey Order proper it is. Here we go. We're fucking recreating the establishment and just break it all down. Burn it all down. Have it truly be the end of the Jedi. Have it also be the end of the Sith, truly. Then when fucking Palpatine comes back for the 40th fucking time, it's less dumb because then at least it's... Yeah, fucking, it's fine. They had stem cells from his butthole that they could go ahead and stimulate and bring him back with.
Pickle Palpatine.
Exactly, and Pickle Palpatine! But no, like, you could have done so much more interesting shit with that. You could have done something that was actually creative, and we just get more of the status quo. You fucking creatively bankrupt fucking idiots. I fucking hate it all. Fuck J.J. Abrams.
As the resident Star Wars nerd here, I'll just say I think Grey Jedi are cringe, but
fuck off. No, they're actually interesting. Absolutely not.
Oh, look at me. I'm a fence rider. I don't feel too strongly about one thing or the other.
Yeah, because really sometimes cool. You need balance. Balance to the Force.
Yeah, you get balance when there's Sith and Jedi.
No, you get balance when someone's like, y'all need a fucking timeout.
Yeah, that's what the Yuuzhan Vong are for. That's what the shit that's not affected by the Force are for.
Absolutely not. Fucking cowards. Nexus motherfuckers can be like, I actually didn't like HK-47. He was kind of overrated as a character.
I think...
maybe Mara Jade wasn't actually that interesting of a character either.
I don't think she was that interesting of a character either. It was a weird time of I don't know. It was kind of like a Red Sonja situation. It was kind of like, oh, let's do our main character, but female. Let's make her super sexy.
Right. With that context, fair. I get the comparison, but...
It was just like one of those characters that was created during a really weird cringe time in not quite fandom, but like expansion of fandom and lore.
You know what? You're right. Star Wars as a whole is a fucking mistake. Get rid of it all.
True. Get rid of it. Start over. Episode 3 or 4. We're starting at 4.
Yeah.
I think they suffer from the same thing we were talking about a little bit with Marvel, actually. Which I guess I'll save because I'll bring it. We'll bring it back here in a second. But yeah, no, I think Thunderbolts did suffer from having the fact that, like, not necessarily that all the characters from TV shows. It was that all the characters were from like very mediocre scene shows or movies, right? Is you had Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp, which not many people cared about. You had Yelena, Red Guardian, and Taskmaster from fucking Black Widow, which no one gave a shit about. Then you had Bucky, who everyone's like, cool, we like Bucky. But then you had U.S. Agent from Falcon and Winter Soldier, which everyone was very lukewarm about. I think that was the reason why Thunderbolts didn't seem appealing to many people. Was like no one, like Bucky was like your biggest pull of that because everyone liked them previously. But even like people like Yelena was awesome, I thought, in both like that and Hawkeye. But like people were getting pulled into that, so. It didn't get a fair shot from many people, but I don't think that's the audience fault. That's you guys' fault for not advertising it in a way that it should have been, and I think that's your fault for also not having the projects to raise those characters as to where it's been.
It really was standalone because part of the reason I held off so long on watching it is because I wanted to bring my partner through all of the fucking movies to get up to that point, and then one day she's like, I'm not gonna even if we binge watch it, I'm not gonna remember like half these characters. I'm like, honestly, no, they're all trash. She's like, all right, fuck it, we'll just hop it. And then we hopped into it, and she fucking loves that movie. And again, it really is just fucking standalone. The core of what you need to know about all these people, they're all not good people. They all have done shitty things, and they all are going to have a sad, well, most of them are going to have a sad interlude where they reflect upon that. Not everyone gets that because either they die or budget. I don't know why not everyone gets their sad interlude.
No, that's my biggest complaint about the movie is I think everyone should have had a moment in their sad box, whatever we called it. I forgot. Like we didn't see Ghost or anything, and it's like, well, Ghost you see it in that. I'm like, yeah, but we should have gotten like at least an interlude one. People would have seen a little bit more about them, and it would have carried over for the people that didn't know who they were 100%. So if I was able to like go in and help with that movie, I think I would just threw it all in there because I think they said they filmed those scenes too. But yeah, it's just extend the runtime a little bit. That's fine because it was gold. Yeah, the girlfriend I think has not seen like a single show at all of an MCU thing. And they were gonna binge all that. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not binging all that with you. I'm not sitting through every MCU show. I'll come in at some points. I'll watch WandaVision again. That's fine. I might watch a little bit of Falcon. I'll watch all Moon Knight with you. Maybe a little bit of Ms. Marvel. But I'm thinking back. I'm like, I'm not gonna. I
did my time.
I'm not. I still. I want to eventually. I've not seen Echo still.
I keep forgetting Echo exists. Honestly,
I still haven't seen Ironheart. I know I'm missing a show somewhere in between there too. Like, What If I dropped off on? I'm not going to What If.
Yeah.
I'm sure. And then Daredevil, I still got to go through.
Paid?
Yeah. So
you still haven't done the new Daredevil yet?
No, dude. The thing that bugs me out.
There's catch up on like all 4 seasons.
So good.
The thing that bums me out, dude, is like a show is a hard binge. I'm saying like it's fun to binge a show like that, but I'm remembering how, especially at the Twin Peaks, right? Binging the 3 seasons and I mean really 2 movies. It's tough as fuck to get through a show, and it takes about a week, and that kind of it just takes me out of it, and like has to reprioritize my brain. I'm like, damn, that was a week. Granted, I'm probably gonna go to the gym after this. I think if it's still time, and I'm like, I could probably pop Daredevil on my phone and like hop on the bike for like the hour it is for that, right? That's not an issue. So I'm thinking about doing that for Daredevil actually, because I was gonna originally walk for that, but our walker and I have a funky walk. I've noticed. I went to go to PT for my knee, and I think I learned that one. I mean, I know it's not uncommon at all, but I think one leg is like slightly larger than the other, which is why I have like a little bit of a goofy walk sometimes.
Same. My left leg's a little longer than my right leg.
Yeah, because I guess the first doctor noticed the way I stood up and the way I kind of like shift weight a lot, and then I had to do the squat machine thing, and I've noticed when I was like pulling up that one leg was like always like a fraction of a second behind the other one. I'm like, huh, interesting. But anyway, yeah, no, I'm gonna probably do that with that. But I couldn't walk on that walker because there's no sidebars on it, and I kind of walked a little offset, so I kind of always like my brain was always moving how I was walking. So, but I think the bike would be good for Daredevil. Maybe that's a way to encourage me to go to the gym. If I want to watch Daredevil, I have to go to the gym. Anyway, next point, because we still have like 5 more points, I think. Let me see. Where's this next one? Oh, this one is a little disappointing. Is they say that the shows are going to be are going to be kind of like the Netflix style. You know, how there was like the Marvel shows on Netflix. They just had no real correlation with the movies. They said that's going to be the style of they're going back to with that, which I'm on both ends of it because like comics don't really acknowledge the other ones too often, right? But they did because someone's like asking, "Hey, is the fact Thunderbolts like sunk half of New York into like a black darkness gonna ever come back in like Daredevil?" And Feige just straight up said no.
That's dumb. When it's something that catastrophic, is it like? Because even the Netflix show, with the first Avengers movie,
They made
still
a
refer
reference
to
to
it
it.
as the incident. Yeah, you know, the big incident that happened.
Yeah,
Well, even like Fisk becoming mayor, is that gonna be something relevant for Spider-Man? You know?
Exactly.
right. So I don't know. I feel like they really scared themselves out of doing the TV shows, which I don't agree with. I think you can supplement that very easily with it. It just has to be quality and it can't be overdone. So I
Yeah,
think,
they took the wrong lesson.
and I mean that being not at all in Daredevil. I mean, I could see them wanting to avoid it because you don't want to pigeonhole a writer to be like, you have to write an episode on this.
I mean, they don't even have to do anything about it, right?
Right.
I mean, that just happened a day in New York, and I mean, that could just be
Not even a
that we
day. It
don't
happened like
see.
what, like an hour, right?
Right, exactly. It's just like a flash in the pan of all the bullshit that's happening, regardless.
Literally,
right?
it just gives you an excuse for some background dialogue that's happening.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
a character kind of mentions it, can serve as a quick plot point of like all these fucking superpower nonsense that happen. You know.
Right. But you know what would be cool is like also giving a writer opportunity if they want to write about that, right? Like, hey, if you want to spend a Daredevil episode and just like make them go into the deep part of their minds like we did in Thunderbolts, do it.
Yeah, so in this most recent season, there's a character throughout it. She does like on the street like reporting, and she like does video vlogs where she like kind of like the candid interview. She's holding the camera, asking them a question, and they're like giving real answers back. And they do that quite a bit, and she's just like asking off the cuff stuff, and they're kind of giving like real world answers back, and that's perfect place for that. Like, what did you think about this? I'm like, oh, that was bullshit. What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
No, 1 minute I'm here, next I'm not.
Yeah. So talking about scaling back, you go back to the James Gunn stuff. He texted James Gunn after Superman telling him how much he loved it. He said, quote to James Gunn's quote, "I love how you just jump straight into it." And he said, "You don't know who Mr. Fantastic is? Or you don't know who Mr. Terrific is? Tough, you'll figure it out. You don't know who this is? Just go. It's a fully fleshed out world." And I agree. I 100% agree. Just, we don't need fucking origins all the time. Show me a cool ass character. I'm like, cool. Dope ass character. Don't know who the fuck they are, but I love them.
Unironically, that was one of the best choices they did for introducing fucking Spider-Man into the MCU. Is fuck it, we're just gonna go straight into here he is just in the Civil War conflict. Iron Man found him in the dumpster. I was like, all right, fucking kid, here you go.
So
still one of my favorite parts. Just so cool.
Right. I wanted to do 40X for Superman. I just didn't want to carve out the time for it, but I'm still tempted to go to it because they're gonna they phase it out for the whole new movie, so it'll be Fantastic Four in there. But I was hearing really good reviews about Superman and 40X, so I don't know, maybe. Next point, which is kind of and New York's pointed this out to be kind of a subtle shot at DC, was that they're saying that their movies are going to stay more grounded and versus like kind of James Gunn had said theirs is going to be kind of like this like more fantastical but still telling real stories because Feige said, quote, "It's not Gotham City and Metropolis. This is New York and LA. Yes, there's also Wakanda and Asgard, but it is made up of people who make up our real world." So that seems like a subtle shot trying to be thrown at him, like saying like we're going to be more real about this stuff. But
I just feel like Marvel versus DC anyways.
Right, I disagree though. I'm like, I think Superman dealt with Superman was a very human story at the end of the day. So I mean, I see what you're trying to say, but not really. So I'm like, all right, you got it.
And it's very ironic to say when we just got introduced to Mephisto, right?
Right. All right, this one I do want to go off on a little bit. So Kevin Feige still likes the flexibility of going into production without a set script. Quote, "There's plussing."
What flexibility?
So, well, it makes sense what he's saying, but I just as a person,
you know what's great is being able to just do whatever the fuck you want because I don't know who's gonna stop you.
Well,
And
okay.
like, there's like plenty of great actors that just aren't good improv actors, right? They need their lines. They need to know like what they're doing ahead of time.
David, are you
That's
okay?
just
What
so stupid.
happened to your nose?
Oh yeah, I gotta go to a dermatologist. It's weird fucking ingrown zit, basically.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Dr. Pimple Popper, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like that for like a couple months now, and it just keeps slowly growing. And I've been trying to get an appointment with a dermatologist and
That's of a
the state of
concern.
healthcare. No,
That
I've had it initially like looked at, and they're like, it's just something that we just need to like, basically like, drug you and fucking carve it out, but it's not a
Jesus Christ.
issue.
All right. Hope you're all right.
Ask if you can keep it.
Yeah. Keep it in a jar. So actually, it's funny you said though, David, because David Lynch is like one of his things is like, yeah, just kind of going in there with like a weird, like rough idea of a thing and just kind of going with whatever the flow is on the set sometimes. Apparently, Inland Empire is mostly that too. But this is how he goes. So he says, quote, "There's plussing happening every day on Avengers Doomsday set right now. And it's amazing to watch what those filmmakers, those actors, both the ones that are playing these characters for the first time or second time or the one playing them for the 10th or 12th time are best in the world at. And you know these characters so well. So if they have an idea, you want to listen to it and you want to adjust to it and you want to improve it. I wouldn't want to change that." Is this where this quote goes further? I don't think this is the next quote. But he said, "I've never been happy with the production, or I've never been happy with the script I've been given." And he said he's never been happy with one of his movies. He's always just kind of like one of those perfectionist chasing ones that just is not happy with what's given to him. I agree there should be a set of flexibility on and I say as someone not done this, right, so I have no room really, but in my eyes I'm like, I agree with a sense of flexibility to be like, all right, if you have a good idea, like I stand with the David Lynch thing, like, yeah, if you have a good idea, run with that shit. If it feels good, it feels good.
Yeah.
But creating the scripts on this set just feels like it's been so messy, and it's like I feel like Marvel has kind of like stumbled into a snowball of success in a lot of ways with that, where it's like, yeah, it worked out. Like I said, I read that MCU book. I got halfway. I still need to read the rest of it. But like they really were happy accidents. But I just feel like you just can't go on with that same luck forever, because like you have to have a script. You have to have set ideas. It comes off sloppy, and eventually it does kind of all start crumbling down, which is what we're seeing, right? Like you're not recreating that same magic because there's so much missing in this. And for you to be like so rejectful of a script and not want the full idea, just I don't know, it just rubs me in the wrong way.
And also, again, that's how you end up in the situation where it's like everything is mediocre at best and hot fucking garbage at worst. The problem isn't that you were making too much content. I mean, maybe to some degree, but the problem is clearly in terms of long-term storytelling, you have no fucking idea of what you're doing because you're making most of it up on the fly as you go. Fucking wrestling shows are booked with more fucking long-form storytelling integrity than goddamn Marvel movies are produced with.
It just, as someone that teaches my students to be prepared, it's just kind of funny to see this in one of the biggest studios in Hollywood be like, no, I don't like being prepared. I'd rather be like flexible like that. But it just, I would respect it more. I would respect it more if things were going well. And it's like, obviously with the way things have been going, it's not been going well. So why are we doing that still?
If it's going well and you're working with the same consistent cast, but because you're rotating casts often, you're working on so many different types of projects, there's no consistency to it. You know, David Lynch tends to work with a lot of the same people.
I was gonna say that earlier too, and that was one of the points. Is like, you know, a director is respected when they sort of net the same people to keep returning back and back and back each time, right? And David Lynch is one that. Christopher Nolan reminds me of that too, you know. And yeah, Marvel just has a big merry-go-round of a bunch of people and different actors and directors, right? And it's like you can't get away with that every time.
I mean, again, like James Gunn himself brought up of, you know, his frustrations of some other writer just like was like, all right, this is a thing you have to deal with in your movie now. And you know, turn into a pissing contest with that. It's like that is a problem. you can't just be so loosey goosey to where you're setting up active writing problems for future projects.
James Gunn actually had a quote. Let me go look because this actually might be kind of funny. To bring up, let's see. Is this the recent one? No, it was. Give me a second. Bam for a second.
All right. You know, while the man is doing that, I'm not going to help with the silence. My
Oh my god, this motherfucker!
I gotta go drain it.
Oh my god, shut the fuck up! I'm not paying for your. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yes,
Anyway, if I can recall correctly, it was in this one, I think. Let me see if it's in. No. Was it Rolling Stone, I guess? There was a. You might have even seen it, Kels. There was a interview where he went like super candid with everything, but like there was a mention of. Oh my god! Stop with this. Of him not liking having worked with certain directors on things.
For who?
James Gunn. But he didn't, obviously he couldn't say which.
He hated working with Zack Snyder on Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, there you go. All right, this one gives a rundown of the 5 big big things behind there, I think. Hopefully, or you just are bamboozling me because I may have gotten bamboozled just now. Oh my god. Anyway, whatever. He mentions, if I recall correctly, I'm gonna go off memory here. That there was some directors that just didn't really respect the way they were doing things, and he's like, I work with some of these people that just did not, or I've worked alongside some of these people that I just don't think do a very good job, and people were trying to figure out who that was and who was working around the time that he was with that.
Probably the Russos, right?
That's what New Rockstars was guessing with that. I think the New Rockstars kind of broke down kind of everyone that he might have had like a working relationship with around the time that he was there, and they kind of thought, and they kind of like went through the gambit of like, well, he spoke about this person in this interview. He was working pretty well. He was repeat working with these guys in a positive way. So they landed on the Russos, thinking the Russos were the ones that like he just didn't really agree with, and that kind of makes sense too, right? With how they just kind of forced the Guardians with Thor and stuff like this, and he was like
Killed Gamora,
stuff like that too. And I don't know, like you think of like the Russos now, like they have not done anything of substance, right?
Yeah, but to be fair, what they have done of substance has been huge.
Yeah, so I wonder if it's just they're just really a really good cog in that Marvel chaos, you know? Like they're good at listening to what to do and how to work under that like flexibility. Or if it was really just consecutive flukes.
I just think they're good when they're playing with other people's toys, right? Like I think that they understand Marvel. I think they understand these characters, and I think they understand comic books, and that's fine. But
I think they need to be coloring in a coloring book.
Yeah, they need someone else's toys to play with. They can't make their own toys and write their own stories, but they do thoroughly understand like how these characters work within the confines that they're given.
Right. But that does make it curious as to how he's pointing out there, because he was pretty not I mean, he can't be like venomous or anything, but he was definitely very negative towards these unnamed people. And I could see it being the Russos above all else too, just being how their work style was.
Well, I just think it's kind of funny too with like James Gunn's whole thing, like because it's like what Those in Glass Houses, like he hasn't done anything original in quite a while, and understandably that's what he built himself on. but then he quickly got into like writing for the big name movies, like the Hollywood blockbusters or whatever,
Right.
and then now into the MCU. So I mean, it's like I get it if you think these dudes are dorks or whatever, but I don't know. It's also all speculation. Who knows if that's who he was talking about? He could have been talking about fucking Ryan Coogler for all we know. And then you just call him a fucking idiot. Right, exactly.
I'm curious. When was the last original James Gunn?
Lollipop Chainsaw, wasn't it?
In film.
Splice?
Super Bright?
Or not
Or Brightburn? Brightburn?
Well, he didn't.
No, he wasn't.
like,
He was just a
direct
producer
that.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he wrote the Belko Experiment.
Yep. And that was his brother too. Sean Gunn did that one, I think.
No,
Or who was it?
Greg McLean.
Oh.
I didn't like the way that Belko Experiment. That was one of the most disappointing movies.
Yeah. It was one of those weird ones. Like I like it, but I don't at the same time.
Yeah,
But
no.
it's literally just a better movie, but worse. It's kind of like that quarantine versus record.
Yeah, and I remember Belko Experiment like having a lot of promise and being like, "All right, this is cool, this is great," but it just did not pan out. Super.
Yeah.
Super was 2010.
2010. Okay.
Slither was It was 2006.
Okay. That was the last one I could remember. Slither.
Yeah. So yeah, he hasn't done
Another one I
anything
really
like.
liked.
I mean, his original was Belko Experiment, but written and directed his last original was Super. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I respect James Gunn the fact that I think he knows what he's trying to go with things, and I like his cohesiveness in terms of like vision, right? Like he's like, I have an idea of where all this should be going, and I trust that because it just Kevin Feige has that I like that.
Well, I like even for the Russos, like for what they've done in the MCU, like I've seen that.
Right.
Because we have Winter Soldier into Civil War, and then that from what they've done between Infinity War to Endgame.
I'm curious as to. I've always been curious though, because it felt like the Russos were always gung ho about like we'll come back with Secret Wars, and then it just felt like Marvel kept avoiding trying to invite them back. But then it also feel like it's revisionist history right now, where it's like they're like, no, we weren't gonna come back. We want to go do our own thing for a while, and I'm like, I feel like that wasn't the case, but I guess I could have been.
No, it was definitely they wanted to, but I don't think Marvel knew what the like. It goes back to the Kang thing. They probably weren't going to do Secret Wars until that happened. They're like, "Fuck, what do we do?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, we had these dudes that made a fucking $2 billion.
When's the last time we made a lot of money?
Yeah,
Let's
when's
call
the
those
last time
guys
we
up.
made a lot of money? Yeah, and they said they wanted to do what again? What is that? What is that? Get the nerds on this. Is this good?
Oh, Goofy, what is this Secret Wars?
Well, you see,
all the superheroes get together and they fight.
Don't do it again.
I'll fucking do it again. Which, by the way, I like that shirt, Kels. Good shirt.
Thank you.
All right, let me go back to this.
But yeah, I think it's all trickle down back from Kang. That what you said earlier about him, like, oh, that was actually the plan all along. They're full of shit.
Yeah.
That ruined a lot for them.
Yeah. But I also think I think even if Jonathan Major was still in, I feel like Quantum Mania would have scared them somehow, some way, a little bit though too. I think even if everything lined up,
I forgot all about Loki season 2 until you brought it up earlier. So I feel like you said they were all in on it.
It bounces back,
Yeah.
but I definitely scared that was Quantum Mania being the biggest flop for them. I guess Eternals too, right? But Quantum Mania having like, all right, established character people love, big bad like Thanos. You're running with it, and just the fact that it just didn't really hit. I imagine it could have scared the mouse a little bit, but I don't know. I still think it was happening.
MODOK cheats.
Yeah,
MODOK cheats. Yeah,
there you go. They did say a quick thing saying the Fantastic Four, all like the original Fantastic Four cameo in the new one somewhere, which is kind of cool, I guess.
Aw, I wish I didn't know that.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
You're good.
My bad. then last thing, they asked about Feige's stay at Marvel. Whether he's gonna stay, because that's always been a rumbling if he's gonna stay or go or anything. And he just said, "Do I want to be making big movies for big audiences in 10 or 15 years from now? Absolutely. That's all I want to do. Marvel's a great way to do that for me right now, and I hope to make big movies for people, for lots of people forevermore." But added,
Show me the money.
yeah, no, there was let me see if
But added, if Kathleen ever leaves,
they said, well,
you can
they
still
added
hit me
was
up.
there's about 2 years left on my contract though. So
When you phrase it like that,
right. So we'll see where that goes. But anyway, that's that Marvel rundown, which is it's cool to get that behind the scenes peek of it a little bit, but lots to unpack with the way they're doing things there.
No, yeah, it definitely is. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Definitely interesting that we're in a world where now DC can kind of bounce back against Marvel though now, right? Because I feel like that's always been the, is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen with Justice League and stuff like that? And even though like those movies were more successful than Superman, I think just the outlook of Superman now under James Gunn versus Zack Snyder just feels a lot more competitive.
yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Anyway, good chats. Is that about it? Are we wrapping that?
I think that's it. I got nothing
Yeah,
else to say.
All right. Che 50 is still around. Much appreciated. Everyone else that came out and checked this place out, fantastic. David, send us out.
Go and support your local woke Superman. And also try to name 5 other black superheroes.
Not the ones we've already said. Find your own.
Yeah. Thieves.
And then when you're done that hard mode, try to just name 5 any Hispanic superheroes. Enjoy.
Shout outs. Hey. There you go. 1.